Alright, we're gonna go and start up now, even though my clock says not 8 o'clock yet. Wait for everybody to filter in here. Doesn't look like anybody's on at the moment. Oh wait, no, we got a handful of people. So that's a good sign. We'll just kind of loiter here for a hot minute. I think we're up and running. I see a little green square and I see a little blue good. We're just doing 720p tonight just because I don't want to push it. Oh, I lost a viewer. Whoever you were, goodbye. It was nice seeing you. Cars are going by, so that's a good thing. Alright, let's see if anybody else shows up. This is my first time doing a stream with this rig and this old camera I had years ago. Hey! We got some people in the house. There's some viewers showing up. What is going on, everybody? It's live. Excellent. Good to hear. Yeah, so I got a new... I used to have this little armoire over here that I never really loved. So I got a new kind of desk and set up. I work from home a little bit more now, so I set up a bunch of monitors and things over here. And figured, hey, Melinda's in the house too. What's up? And yeah, I figured I'd start streaming from over here. So eventually I'll start doing podcasting and things like that from over here too. Alpha Beta, what's up? SF Marine's in the house too. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Yeah, so I figured I would try and get everything going. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. I just started a little early because, I don't know, for some reason my clock never matches YouTube's clocks. It's always like, waiting for Culturedog. I'm like, hey, it's not even 8 o'clock, you knuckleheads. So I just started streaming a little early. Theoretically, this should go smooth-ish. I just did a bunch of Windows updates, so my computer should be happy. And then yeah, we're just gonna test it out and see how it goes. And eventually I'll juice it up a little bit. Maybe I'll get a cool like spinning version of my face like Joe Rogan before the show starts. Zazz it up a little bit. Laser Dreams, what's up? Yeah, I apologize for not doing a stream in quite some time. It was I'm trying to think if it was summer or autumn the last time. But it was a while ago. So yeah, many apologies for failing. Scott, I didn't know I did live streams. I didn't know either. There was a period. Well, see, here's the deal. There was a period where I wasn't able to get a lot of videos out. So I thought, you know, what'll be cool is Thursday nights or Friday nights or whatever. I could just rock some live streams. Doesn't take much effort, and I can, just talk about whatever. So it was cool. It was a good thing, and you guys would come and hang out, and we'd chat every week, and then it was weird. It was the first time my channel ever took hits, though. It was like my subs started dropping like flies. Everything started going down. 4K Cinemas in the house. What's up, my friend? How you been? Keith in the house too. Yes, I am in the video drum. Yes. I'm going to be, if you see like a weird clay wall behind me or something, just, tune out. So anyways, yeah, so I started doing these things, and yeah, so my channel took a hit hard. It was weird. I always heard people say don't do live streams, but it was a lot of fun. So then, like, I started putting out videos again on the regular, and I was too busy editing those, and then I wasn't able to live stream quite as much. So I'm trying to find like a healthy balance. I'd still like to do them, on a fairly regular basis. Channel, metrics be damned, because it's fun to hang out and chat and stuff like that. So then the last bit of the year, what happened? Like the end of the year sucked. Like the end of the year into the beginning of the year, like tooth issues, random things. Like I was just having a bad time. Eric, thanks for shouting out the LD audio series. Yeah, that was turned out to be like a lot of fun, and it was just like a quick kind of yeah, one viewer was like, yeah, you should do something about LD audio, and I was like, yeah, it's been so long since I've been planning this big audio series. I'm like, yeah, I can keep planning that. Let's just go and just sit in front of the camera and just talk about LD audio, and even that turned out to be pretty copious. So we were, filling up 5 episodes full of crap. So that was fun. Yeah. Yeah, Scott watches live streams of comic people. I watch who else does live streams that I watch? Of course, I check out Rogan's every once in a while. I watch Dan Cummins' podcast, but doesn't usually stream those live. He usually just kind of drops them at a certain point. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. The holidays were rough. The Snapper videos. Yeah, thanks for watching my Snapper videos. That came from LaserDiscs Forever, of all places. There was this big thread about Snapper videos, and I was like, I should go look at mine. And a bunch of them were hiding behind my Christmas tree, so I actually had to wait until the holidays were over so I could remove the tree and get access to my Snappers again. So it was funny. My wife was like tearing stuff apart. I'm like, wait, let me over in that corner. Just started filling my arms with Snapper cases. Thanks, Kyle. Awesome. Good to hear. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that audio LD series. I'm super psyched to do a THX one. That's going to be next on the list. I got a couple in the hopper. I got a THX series. I got just one about aspect ratios and that sort of thing. And, a few others on the back burner. So, should be cool. Oh, yeah, YouTube always make it difficult. I never liked the that like subscriber limit they would have. Like you have to have 1,000 subs so you can't do live streams. I used to hate too that they wouldn't allow people to monetize unless they had a certain amount of subs too. Because I know some dudes that like just really aren't into dropping a lot of content and don't have a ton of subs, but they have killer videos, like one killer video that they could theoretically monetize on because it still gets tons of views all the time. But yeah, YouTube's always just like, nope, you're not cool enough. So whatever. And now all these limitations about stuff being child friendly or whatever. So hopefully no kids are out there because I'm about to say poop or something. Yeah, it's the Snapper thing was, especially that thread on Lasers Forever, just because the people that were a little bit more old school like myself that were like, we just took it for granted that everybody hated Snapper cases, and then this kind of newfound respect for him. I'm like, well, this is going to be fun. Let's kind of come at it from both angles. Yeah, cardboard and plastic tabs. That's how you do it. That guy is fired up for the night. The big Akigahara forest thing. Yeah, but there's always it's everything's reactionary, of course. So. I think Congratulations is not calling anyone a snapperhead. I know, not yet. I think maybe I just did. I don't know. But yeah, so the end of the year was rough. The beginning of the year was rough. Like I said, dental issues and just constant, physical nonsense, and it was busy outside of that too. So it took a lot out of me, and then now it's kind of settling down a little bit. I got a couple pickups I'll show you too. Like vinyl pickups, I'm so out of date. Like, because I listen to a lot of vinyl when I work from home. So, and there's a great record store like right down the street from me. So I tend to go and like pick up stuff, raid their bins, and like on my lunch break or something like that. So I've got tons of stuff. So I didn't even bother bringing that up. But I got a couple LaserDiscs and at least one DVD, stuff like that. Trying to think of any like cool events in the end of 2019. I did go see Slayer and Primus and Ministry and Phil Anselmo when they came through for the final Slayer tour. Like I was saying in the little teaser, I was supposed to go see Opeth this week, but they canceled because of Michael Okerfeld's throat problems with that. I just saw Primus is coming again, though. I saw him play Cygnus X1. Of course, yeah, Neil Peart died, and I dropped a Rush video. That also happened in the interim, and yeah, Primus is coming around again. They're doing a Farewell to Kings all the way through, so I'm probably going to go check out that show. Squeeze LDs. I still haven't checked out now, and there's multiple T2 Squeeze, and the THX one is supposed to be like the best. Though I've heard from the Muse guys, I know a bunch of guys that roll with roll with the Muse discs, and eventually the kind of word changed a little bit on the T2 Muse because from experimenting, it seemed like you could get better results with a Muse decoder that actually matched the player. So if you had like a HLD XO Pioneer player matched with a Sony Muse decoder, it didn't really work out that well. But if you had like a Sony decoder matched with a Sony player, it like was night and day better. So for the longest time, the T2 Squeeze was kind of held above the Muse, but I think that kind of evened out a little bit through some of that testing. Yes, Blu-ray Eco cases suck, but I only have American Squeeze stuff. Unforgiven was my first one, and it was pretty cool. I mean, again, some of the chroma noise issues and things like that aren't going to go away, even though you got more resolution. So some of the drawbacks of standard definition video are still going to be there. But I mean, yeah, it was pretty cool. It's fun being able to pop a Squeeze disc on my projector and just bam, select full and let it fill side to side. I'm looking forward to picking up some more. Sure, I've heard some of them are pretty low quality, but I think Basic Instinct is one of the stinkers, and there's a few others. So, but I'll grab a couple. I wouldn't mind getting like Stargate or something, and T2. If I can get that THX one, that's supposed to be a little bit of a tough one to find, and it's expensive when it shows up. Let's see. Yeah, the gatefold snappers. And then I showed a couple of those. I thought that was pretty cool. New Line was pretty cool with them, and yeah, hipsters love them now. Leaf in the house. So what's up? Oh, nice. I'm glad the LaserDiscs Forever post kind of got the word out a little bit. But yeah, the Eco Blu-ray ones are the Blu-ray cases, yeah, and you just open it up and then you realize that they're just held together by hopes and dreams. And they're just holes in everything. And then, yeah, it's just the paper, for the insert, keeping the structure. So yeah, if you just hold it like tightly, your thumb will just punch right through the graphics. Oh, Ari Franklin in the house. What is up? Welcome aboard. Inge from Norway. Nice. Welcome aboard. So I would start getting stacks of Vivo Elite cases because you can get them pretty cheap. So I would just have like a box of Vivo Elites in the corner, and so whenever I'd get Eco cases, I just bam, tear out the artwork and the disc and switch them around. So yeah, so those suck. They look like the Batmobile from the mid-90s movie. Yeah, skeleton cases. Yep. So I mean, I love the idea of going green and everything like that. But I mean, the whole idea is I'm going to keep them. If my idea was to watch them for like a month or two and then bury them in the backyard, sure, let's go for it. But if I'm gonna go for a case, I'm gonna go for a case. So you might as well make it. I don't know. Yeah, they suck. Yeah, they're the worst because then you just replace them and chuck them. Because it would be a lot better if they just made a sturdy case in the first place, and then I could just not replace them. What did I pick up on Blu-ray? I haven't gotten too many blues lately. I've been meaning to go, pick up Parasite and everything like that. Grabbed a couple of UHDs, I swear, but I can't even remember what I got. I tried to fill in a few more gaps in the Studio Ghibli G-Kids releases, so I grabbed some more of those. I replaced my old Kiki's Delivery Service because the older Disney Blu-ray had dub titles, but I think the newer one that Shout Factory G-Kids put out has a better translation, so I grabbed that, and a couple other Ghibli ones. I was trying to remember. Oh, Porco Rosso, grabbed that, even though my wife doesn't like that. So I'm on my own with that one. And what was the third one? Probably Cat Returns, maybe? Yeah, I think it was Cat Returns, which we saw theatrically not too long ago. But, yeah, make it right or don't make it at all. Exactly. And then, I got a couple other 4Ks. It Chapter 2, Ready or Not. What else? I should have a copy of Knives Out coming. Looking forward to seeing that again. But yeah, I got some gear, so I was laying low on buying stuff. I'll show you, the the very small amount of LDs I got, but they were kind of gifted to me from a kind viewer, and yeah, more on that in a hot minute. But yeah, I've been trying to kind of complete my separates home theater downstairs because it's changed up. I got to do new room tours because you know, this room is totally different now, and yeah, same thing with Parasite. I heard it was getting a Criterion, so I was like, yeah, maybe I'll hold off. But Scott's watching Baywatch Hawaii. Nice. Jason Momoa's on there. Nice. Yeah, he's everywhere. Yeah, so I got a Rotel RSP 1069 a year ago, something like that, and I've been wanting to get that for a long time. So what I was doing in the meantime, and I had to get a new tuner because it just has the processor. It didn't have a tuner, so I got a tuner after that, and then I was just using my old, actually that that receiver right there. I was using the amps in that because it's got. You can actually use that as a pre-pro if you want, or you can just use the amps and just run in multi-inputs. So I was just using multi-inputs on that, and of course it runs a little hot, so I had like these like stands, like 4-inch stands, like just keeping all the gear above it. So it was kind of ghetto, but I was doing that for a while, and the goal was to get a RMB 1077, which is a Class D amplifier that Rotel came out with, and I heard a lot of great things about it. And yeah, I finally got one, and I got it at a reasonable price. And holy crap, that thing's awesome! And it's like this big, 7 channels, like 100 watts per channel, and it puts out like almost no heat. My processor on the top pumps out so much more heat, so it's super cool. So then I went out and got a couple little like PVC, like almost like coupling pieces from Home Depot, and used those as little kind of riser feet. Dropped that on there and hooked up some extra channels. So then I brought the old receiver up here, put that in there. So that kind of set up this whole room. And then the old receiver that was in there now has gone into this other kind of music setup over there. And then that just made me rebuild this whole room pretty much, and then build this kind of PC corner and everything like that. So yeah, that took a lot of time, and yeah, I wasn't investing in too much to watch at the time because I was just saving up my pennies to get more gear. I still have to get a couple things. I need some DefTech surround speakers for downstairs, and a few other kind of gizmos and things like that. But yeah, I'm super psyched now that I got that freaking amp finally. So I'll do a video on that at some point, get that going. But yeah, now that was what I needed. That was my rug. It really ties the whole room together. So now it tied multiple rooms together. Take it everyone to see Rise of Skywalker. I did. I just saw it once, so I'll be checking it out again when it comes out on 4K. And what else did I see? Saw Knives Out. Saw Gretel and Hansel, which is pretty good. It's sub The Witch, but yeah, a lot of good like occult symbolism and interesting stuff. Rise of Skywalker, I didn't mind it. I understand that it's a bit of a polarizing flick. But again, all these new movies are gravy for me because I'd pretty much given up on seeing Star Wars films that I enjoy again. I'd pretty much written that off completely. So they're all gravy. So even if like they're nonsensical but somewhat enjoyable, I'm like, that's 100% win. So yeah, I saw it, and there was only a couple things I was hoping that they would carry on or follow the threads on. It seemed a little lame that they were kind of doubling back so much, but I don't know. It didn't feel that egregious, but I appreciated that they kept the kind of like the Force connection thing between Reylo. I like that they kept that and actually expanded on that a little bit. I thought that was pretty cool. I loved that everybody got to be a little bit of a team for a little bit. That was cool. I loved that 3PO got to do some cool things. That was nice, and actually got to be funny again. Instead of just being like, it's 3PO. Yeah. So that was pretty good. I haven't read the Colin Trevorrow script that everybody's reading, and I've seen people on YouTube doing read-throughs of it and stuff. I'm probably not going to get around to that anytime soon, but yeah, there were enough bits in it that I was like, yeah, that's interesting, and or satisfying on some level. So I was down with it. I appreciated that the humor was integrated a lot better this time around, and it wasn't that like pathetic, undercutting the build up and the tension every time that was in Ryan Johnson's flick. So, yeah, I need to see it again. I only saw it the one time, but I had a good time with it. So, especially all the kind of like mission stuff, and yeah. And visually, there was some really, really gorgeous stuff in there too. Some of the exile stuff, and yeah, I don't know. So I know everyone's tearing it apart, but again, yeah, that's what YouTube does. So, damn, the cops are coming. The Rise of Skywalker cops are coming because I didn't hate it enough. Any LDs you prefer over the audio on Blue? I have the THX LD of Pink Floyd The Wall. Actually, that's one that I've never upgraded because I've got the old MGM letterbox Dolby Surround version, and then I got the one with the commentary track and THX and the AC3, and I've never moved beyond it. So that one I don't know if I prefer over the audio on Blue. I'm trying to think if there's any, because most of the time it's like if there's something I love that much on LaserDisc, that's usually kind of my go-to one. So yeah, it's pretty rare when I've got like a Blu-ray that I still prefer the LD audio over. I'm trying to think. Come up with something. Alpha Beta saw The Gentleman with Hugh Grant, Charlie Hunnam, Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, I like some Guy Ritchie. He's hit or miss, but I'm always willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Want to check that out? Yeah, Death Star stuff. That was pretty badass. Just riding that little catamaran on the waves to a half sunken Death Star. That's cool stuff. I don't care if it like makes sense. That's cool. Baywatch seasons 1 through 3 on D. I've never heard about Baywatch seasons being on LD, so chalk that up, I think, to another disappointment. Much like Miami Vice. I wish there was a Miami Vice like LD set or something like that. There might be something, but yeah, I don't remember Baywatch hitting LD. It was fun in Richie's Wacky Guns and Geezers way. Don't take it too seriously. Yeah, that's cool. I'm down with that. I should watch some of the older stuff again. I haven't seen Snatch in a while. I quote it all the time, but I haven't seen it in a while. Lighthouse Blu-ray. I picked up that 4K. Or was it 4? No, it was just Blu-ray, I think. I picked that up. That was one I ran out and got. And I swear I grabbed some other things too. But only Baywatch LD is Forbidden Paradise. Yeah. Bummer. I had a feeling that's something they should have a Japanese box set of or something like that. There's still some TV stuff I need to get. I was just reminded about Japanese box set of American Gothic, great show from the 90s, and nobody's quite sure if Volume 2 actually came out or not, but I don't care. I'll still get Volume 1. I've got them on DVD, but I need that box set, and I still have the Twin Peaks box set, so I gotta get those too. Still trying to think of a LD I prefer audio over on Blue. Because, I love Jurassic Park and Lost World, but I don't have the Blu-rays of those yet. So, I just watch the LDs all the time. So, yeah, that's tough. And yeah, like, I was just talking about Strange Days recently, but I don't have that on Blu-ray, so I know there was a German one. Thoughts on the new Dune? I'm pretty psyched for it. Denis Villeneuve's Blade Runner 2049 is, like, ridiculously one of my favorites. Like that and The Martian I watch a stupid amount of times. And in fact, I was just watching Blade Runner 2049 again about 5 nights ago, maybe, something like that. If my loved ones knew how much I watched those two movies, there would probably be some sort of intervention. So I'm psyched for him taking on Dune. So I'm down with it. I'll still love the Lynch one, of course, but yeah. Still talking Baywatch. Yeah, Alpha Beta is also looking forward to Dune. Nice. Warner Archive Podcast. I have not checked that out. Yeah. No, I'll have to spec that out because that is one of those things where I always hear about it after the fact. I'm like, oh, that's on a Warner Archive? Oh, sick. I should get that. So yeah, it would be cool to have a little bit of a inside tack on that. Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely see the Dune remake in the cinemas as well too. So I'm still waiting for No Time to Die to drop. Last I knew, those tickets still hadn't gone on sale yet. Because I want to go see No Time to Die, of course, immediately. I'll try and get in on a screening anyways, but I'm still going to go, opening night proper. Of course, the song came out this week, and I'm a little bit in the middle on it. Sounds a little too much like Sam Smith's song. In fact, there's like a couple like melodies that are almost identical. Like when the verse starts, like you can actually start singing Sam Smith's lines over Billie Eilish's. And there's a couple bits during the chorus. I'm like, wow, that's like the same melody as Writings on the Wall. So I was hoping they would kind of like amp it up a little bit, kick some ass again. But after doing rock stuff for 2 movies in a row, they've just like gone straight Grammy-winning balladeers ever since then. But too bad. And then Radiohead, poor Radiohead Spectre didn't get used either. That would have been pretty cool. But so that's a film I'm looking forward to. Used to have a region-free DVD player. Yeah, I've still got 2, 3, something like that. I got a handful. I got like a region-free player in every room, I think, for DVD, but not for Blu-ray though. I need to get region-free Blu-ray. 4K Lighthouse. That's the whole problem with the all these cool post-horror things, and the kind of A24 vibe coming. Oh, thanks, Keith. You're the man. There's so much cool stuff coming out that isn't being released in UHD. So Midsummer is the big one, and not only was it not released in 4K here in the States, but we didn't get the director's cut in a physical media yet. Of course, everyone's waiting for it. So it came out on Blu-ray, and now there's the director's cut on Blu-ray in Australia and the UK, and then there's an Italian 4K. But again, there's English subtitling issues if you want some of the Swedish dialogue subtitles. I will check that out eventually at some point, because they did Dune and Children of Dune, and I never saw the whole thing. It was just like my dad was watching it sometimes, and I'd like hang out and watch some of it. But I love Lynch one. I saw it in the theaters back in the day. Loved it. It's completely insane and great. That guy loves Dune. What's the word for fixing your player to be region free? I don't know. I was just always kind of like modded, or what is going on out there? Apparently it's Friday night. Everyone's ready to go out and party. My first was I got the Apex. I don't know if anybody remembers the Apex. It was a Chinese player that Circuit City used to sell, and it was one of the first, easily hackable ones that you could hack from the remote. And it was just, you had to change the kind of setting from, like, there was a couple different button pushes you could do, and then bam, it was region free. And you're like, yeah. So I had that, and then eventually I upgraded to a JVC that had been modded for me already by this other company, and that one's still going strong downstairs. So, and then I think I got a Samsung that was hackable, and then I got a Sony that was hackable too. So I got those guys still running too. Warner Archive on Tex Avery is, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I've been hearing about the Tex Avery set. Any advice on how to sell my 600 plus LD collection? It's tough. I mean, if you can find a local buyer, depending on where you are, for sure. Especially a bulk like that, generally you have to take a little bit of a hit. I know the LDF guys aren't going to pay more than like $1 a disc usually, probably once you start getting up to like 600. The other option is to piece them out, sell them piecemeal, either through eBay or through the group. But it's tough. I mean, you might be able to if it's like, depending on the quality of the material, you might be able to eke it up past $1 a disc. But I do. There are some guys that'll come and they'll pick up all 600 if you want. I can send them your way, but depending on where you're based out of. So Hacked PC. Yeah, you see, I've never. Is it a soft hack or is it like something I have to like really dig into the PS3? Because I've got an old PS3 fat, but not too keen on getting my arms in that thing. Let's see. Too many silly hats in too. Nice. Hey, Film Nerd Corey's in the house. What's up, my friend? Live action Fist of the North Star, Goofy movie. Harry Franklin got nice. Ah, man, not bad pressing though. Bummer. Speed Racers, yeah, I know, right? They're totally ready to go. Pops Racer, Speed Racer, Racer X, they're all out there. I wish my LG because play multiple formats. Nice. I got an LG UHD player, so yeah, it's American Graffiti outside my house. I think Bob Falfa's out there. It's gonna be good times. Oh man, yeah. Of course, streaming night. Tonight too was the night my Windows decided to like kind of reinstall. It was like an update, but it was almost like a reinstall level update. Yeah, so I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be done in time for my my stream. Elephant Man in 4K. Ooh, yeah. Actually, I wouldn't mind getting that. So I would definitely be down to import that because I've just got that DVD copy, which still looks pretty good. But I'd love to have that in 4K. Yeah, grouping the categories, sell categories. Yeah, selling LDs is tough, and if you do it piecemeal, then you're stuck with the commons, and then those are tough to sell piecemeal, and it's kind of almost not worth it on eBay between all the fees and everything like that, and shipping and things like that. So yeah, you can do batches. I know a lot of people have good luck with batches, like like a 5 for 25 kind of thing, or kind of bundles, that sort of thing. Break it down a little bit. So, and then of course if you have some stuff that's a little more upper tier, you can sell that like separately. So I just actually, one of the things I did was I had about 150 discs that had kind of kicking around that were extras or things I didn't need or whatever. So I went to visit Paul Davino from LaserDiscs Forever up in Vermont, and that was a couple of weeks ago, and I gave him the rest for a couple bucks, and figured he can enjoy those and or use them for trading fodder or whatever like that. So thinned down the herd a little bit, which was nice. Yeah, it's tough when you got tons of discs kicking around. You don't quite need them. Yeah, soft hacks. I love those things. Yeah, I would do that. You press a bunch of left, right, up, down, up, down. Oh man, you're in Florida. All right. Yeah, I don't know if Sean needs that much, but there's a couple of Floridian collectors that I know. Sean from LaserDiscs Forever, and there's a couple others too. And then there's a guy I know who's mostly a vinyl seller, but he was doing LDs for a while too. I don't know if he still is or not, but I can check. I still see him on LDF every once in a while, I swear. What's his name? Ron, I think. Never seen the Fist of the North Star. I've seen Akira. Yeah, classic. Enjoy my triumphant return to stream. Yeah, it's just so triumphant. The kids are ecstatic out there on the streets. Yeah, I love my PS3 fat. Thankfully it's kept me going. I never put it in an enclosure, so it's always got plenty of air blowing. It does fire up the fan every once in a while and get up to speed, but yeah, it's been treating me right, and I love seeing all the yeah, it's funny and it's hilarious. As Submarine just mentioned about SACD. I love seeing all the logos on the side of the PS3 fat. It's like every possible logo you can imagine, including the SACD. So yeah, I got for my first one for the first time. I found a used copy of Nine Inch Nails' Downward Spiral, and one of my favorite record shops that I just when I was coming back from Vermont, I actually stopped by his shop and picked up a couple things, and I saw a Downward Spiral SACD in there, and I'm like, ooh, give me some Super Audio CD action. And holy crap. And that was before my new amp too. I think that was like the week before I got my new amp, but even on my old kind of setup, Jesus, the 5.1 was amazing on that. Like I just kind of sat like stunned to my seat the entire time. So yeah, really great set. I'm looking forward to getting some more. I wouldn't mind getting the Jeff Buckley Grace one, and maybe a few more. So yeah, I'm intrigued. Yeah, I dug that. That experience was fantastic. So yeah, LG did the HD DVD Blu-ray combo where yeah, good times. Yeah, I never did get an HD DVD. I saw one at a thrift store, and then that was like the drawing line. My wife was like, "You don't need an HD DVD player." I'm like, "What? The discs are cheap." Yeah. So I never did pick it up. Kyle said college kids have a bunch of LD converts. Nice. Dorm rooms haven't been the same. Yeah, man. I remember visiting my buddy at UConn and bringing my Sony MDP 333 with me. We'd just like cranking up Akira and Star Wars movies and stuff like that. And everyone would come by and be like, "Oh, what tape are you watching?" We'd be like, "We're watching a disc." Nice. Submarine still got a fat going strong too. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what year I got mine, but yeah, it's well over 10 years. So yeah, it's going strong. So go PS3 fat. I didn't even get a 4. I figure I'm just gonna skip it and go for the next one. Yeah, good times. So I'll show you like the LDs I grabbed. Oh yeah, Dark Side of the Moon. That would be pretty amazing. I do have a lot of other 5.1 releases that aren't Super Audio CD. I've got like pretty much every Opeth album in 5.1. Some are on DVD, some are on Blu-ray. I've got Depeche Mode, Violator, 5.1. There's like a couple, like I have a Mastodon and the Arch Enemy C with like some little bits of 5.1 here and there. Some of those Opeth ones are gorgeous though. So those I really like. But yeah, so for Super Audio CD, the only one I have is that Nine Inch Nails one. And it's funny because I was just thinking about, because the way I have everything hooked up now through the PlayStation, I was like, I could play SACDs and just have that put the the PCM into my receiver. I'm like, I should get like a SAD sampler or something just to see what it sounds like. And then I tripped across that Nine Inch Nails disc like a couple days later. I'm like, yeah. Let's see. Pioneer DVD player from 2000s that played SACD and DVD audio. Yeah, I should have bought some more of those like DVD. Like there was a Metallica Black Album DVD audio. I should have picked that up. I used to think about getting the Lamb of God's Ashes of the Wake on the Super Audio CD, but let's see. So I got some discs from Retro Steam Tag. Alan let me know that he'd found some and wanted to know if I wanted to bring them into the Culture Kennel. So, oh, nice. Eric was rocking some quad Dark Side of the Moon. Sweet. So one I got was this Japanese release of Daryl, which has some killer artwork on it. So yeah, very nice. Of course, I have the American reissue from the 90s as well. So he's got a friend, and one I'd been wanting to get for a while actually, and he hooked me up with Duel, the international theatrical version, which is great. And you can watch the original TV one on archive.org. Has a upload of that, which is pretty cool too. But yeah, I freaking love that. I love 70s TV movies in particular. And yeah, Daryl, that's the jam. And a little bonus, Speed and DTS. It's funny because I was just talking about how I want to get Speed in the Dolby Digital version, even though I hear that's a faulty track. So I got the DTS one. Sounds great. I was firing that up here not too long ago. So that's it for the Soul LaserDiscs. LaserDiscs. I'm gonna be ordering a few now that everything's kind of simmered down a little bit, and I got all my I got my amplifier that I've been waiting for. Duel filled down the road in Ventura. Nice. I love the intro to the theatrical version of Duel. Just that it reminds me a lot of what Zemeckis did later with Contact. It's all played out with the radio, and just it really gives you that sense of you're leaving the city and you're going out into the boonies, so to speak. Oh, freaking love it. Sets up the mood fantastically. And Yeah, Duel is just so damn good, man. I mean, of course, the writing is top notch, and just so many kind of like themes simmering in it. So I went through a bunch of big kicks, kind of this over the series, and I mentioned Nine Inch Nails. I went through this big Nine Inch Nails kick, and I was trying to fill in a bunch of the Halo issues that I didn't have, and then I went through a big the Clash kick because I finally got around to reading this big. It's over there. I'd pick it up, but it's a big pink book about the history of the Clash, and so I got like, I mean, I always loved the Clash, but like it kind of kicked it up another notch, and I started to kind of pick up some of the little B-sides and things like that that slipped through the cracks, and then I was in a big Terminator mode for a while there. So I'm actually working on a video talking about the two letterbox Terminator LaserDisc releases. So yeah, right around the same time I was watching Duel, I was like in a big, Duel Spielberg mode, and then Terminator mode around the same time too. Yeah, Duel is just ridiculously good, and yeah, Daryl, you gotta have it as a acronym, and yeah, it's just yeah, so much interesting stuff going on in a very simple movie and Duel, and I love other '70s stuff like Trilogy of Terror, of course, and Bad Ronald. That's a Warner Archive release, and was it Don't Be Afraid of the Dark? I think that's the one, and Gargoyles, of course, killer stuff. Duel makes a great double feature with Jaws, yeah, including the he reused the same truck noise for a bit with Jaws too, because it was like thematically tied together. Yeah, I wouldn't mind checking out the Duel Blu-ray, but something delightful about watching it on LaserDisc. I put it in my LDS one, late at night, and it was just firing it up, and it just, I don't know, really sunk the hooks into me, and yeah, it looked really good. And the sound was great, and yeah, awesome stuff. And so yeah, Flight Navigator, which I got, Flight Navigator, which I just got on LaserDisc not too long ago. Yeah, studio stuff in Pinewood. Nice, yeah. It's amazing the amount of stuff that was shot, USA in Pinewood. Yeah, Trilogy of Terror ended with the Zuni fetish doll that Karen Black had to deal with. Yeah, and Karen Black was in like all three stories, but that last story like totally overshadowed the rest of the stories, and it's great. That one story is untouchable. T2LD release is the best. It's tough. It depends on if you want to roll theatrical or if you want to roll with the special edition. And then it depends on if you want special features or not. But for like, overall, like we were talking about earlier, that Squeeze Japanese release, letterboxed THX is like supposed to be like the best. And but I mean, just for like domestic US stuff, if you don't want to deal with tons of discs, for special edition, you can get that CLV 2-disc gatefold. It's pretty badass, and but the box is pretty cheap too if you want all the special features with the gold T2 emblem on the front. And then if you want theatrical, or here in the States, just that regular CLV gatefold release, which is you can find everywhere. Or if you want to get the CAV box too, I have that too. But with the kind of, man, they're still going out there with the kind of faux silver all around box. Yeah, that's pretty nice stuff, but it doesn't have too much. It's just got like a one special feature on it. But yeah, if you like the special edition, definitely hunt down that like CLV reissue that came out after the big box that came out. It's good stuff. I think that's got a decent amount of special. I think that's got like the little featurette on there too. Anyway, so it's a lot of bang for your buck in that thing. Yes, 4K just happened to mention. Bam, the Keep from Australia, and it's definitely not a rip at the LaserDisc. This it's different. It's actually It's not bad at all, actually. Um, it's funny. Have been a ton of bootlegs coming out of Australia. So when I heard about this, I thought, well, it's probably another Australian bootleg. But then hearing about Via Vision, and apparently they actually got like Paramount's permission to go ahead and release this, and I guess there was a lot of people trying to figure out where this came from. Like, apparently maybe there was a master that was going to be released on DVD like a long time ago and never did. Yeah, it looks really good. It's not bad. I mean, considering it's just a DVD release and it hasn't been, like anything new mastering wise, like recently, it hasn't been remastered or anything like that. So, but it's definitely not a LaserDisc rip. I can certifiably. I mean, I don't even think it's from the same LaserDisc master. So, yeah, maybe, but I don't know. It definitely seems to be something newer than the LaserDisc master. Interested to hear more about it, though. I love, too, it's got the reversible art. My buddy Paul was cool enough to hook me up with this. Because, I hate all the European and Australian releases with the ass ton of, warning stickers and stuff like that just kind of, like, ruin the cover art. Thankfully, it had reversible cover art. But, yeah, it's got the... I mean, obviously, bootlegs can throw the Paramount logo on there. But it's not bad. It's just got, 2.0 stereo with some surround. But I fired it up, and it looks pretty good. The only time I saw some, like, kind of macro blocking was a little bit during the intro, right before the credits started. But it's pretty damn sharp. And, like, there's some stuff in here that's tough. Like some of the bits where they first encounter the kind of secret layer when they pull that block out of the wall, and there's this like endless vast blackness and inside this keep. Like, that was always tough on LaserDisc to kind of resolve the amount of like detail in the darkness there. This did a pretty good job with it, so I was impressed. So it's definitely a good stopgap, and it's not a bootleg. Yeah, believe it or not, it's we've got like an official release of the keep, and it's actually letterboxed correctly at 2.35:1, unlike the LaserDisc, which was letterboxed a little bit wider, or I mean a little bit less wide. It was like 2.0 something, or I forgot what the exact. I think Widescreen Review listed the dimensions, but yeah, this is actually like properly Panavision scope 2.35:1. So, bam. Thanks to Paul to making that happen. I can definitely live with that for now. So, it's funny. I was just about to bring that up. So yeah, I can proudly say that it's not it's not just a copy of the LaserDisc. Like, there's so many out there. Quick and the Dead, dude. Jonathan brings that up. I freaking love Quick and the Dead. I've told this story plenty of times, but I'll tell it again. My buddy Dave, who now drums, I just saw the other week actually, he drums for Rainbow and Richie Blackmore's Night. We were going out, like, see a movie, and then my other buddy Eric, who doesn't drum for anybody, but he's cool. Shout outs to Eric. We were going out to see something. I was like, oh, Sam Raimi's got a new movie, and that's a Western, so let's go check it out. Oh, Zach from West Texas. What's up, my friend? And I do have a Figment in the background. Yeah, he's like a foam Figment. So yeah, we went to go see Quick and the Dead, and it was so great because I was just completely in love the whole time. Like, it was like just a great mix of like Sam Raimi goofiness and kind of traditional Western tropes and things from like my favorite Western movies. And so it's like, one half spaghetti Western, one half, I don't know, total nonsense. And the cast ruled. It was great, and it was funny. At the end of it, I was just buzzing. I was like, that was awesome. And my buddy's like, I feel like I just watched a 2-hour Taco Bell commercial, and I was just like, and I bought it on LaserDisc from Suncoast the day it came out. I watched it at my home theater so many times. Bought it on DVD, anytime it comes out again, I gotta pick it up. So yeah, love The Quick and the Dead. So you're not alone, and I quote it all the time because like Clay Cantrell's thing, where someone, if anybody ever asks me how to spell my name, I always answer correctly. And yeah, any of the stuff. Spotted horse cannot be killed by bullets, and so many great quotes in that movie. Let's see, Tangerine Dream and Glowy Scott Glen Eyes. Yes, that's how you do it. Yeah, Netflix The Keep, and that was like what they had that in like HD aspect ratio, maybe something like that. Was it wider than 1.78 to 1 or something? 1.77 to 1. I never did get a chance to check it out, but yeah. Michael Mann, it's funny, he doesn't talk about it a lot, but there's this kind of, seems like a bit of a myth that he's completely disowned it, because I have watched, because pretty much anytime Michael Mann or John Carpenter does a Q&A at like a film school or something, I watch it, and if it's on YouTube, I'll sit down and check out the whole thing. And I've seen him reference it. Like, it's one of those things where it's like the moderators tend to kind of skirt around it. I don't know if that's from him slipping a piece of paper before, like, don't effing talk about The Keep or I'll kick you in the nerds. But yeah, so seems like he's kind of settled down, maybe kind of mellowed on it a little bit over time, because I've heard people ask him about, like, what about it coming out on Blu-ray, and he seemed at least reasonably open to it, but seemed to kind of throw that all in Paramount's corner. So yeah, but yeah, there was the monster effects that he didn't like. There was all sorts of stuff that didn't quite get right, and yeah, so there's theoretically another cut somewhere that would be good. There's supposed to be this great documentary about the film and the different versions of it and all that stuff, but last I knew, it's still vaporware. It's one of those things that's been talked about forever. But yeah, so it was like one of those things. It was like his Alien 3 for David Fincher. You know, is that there's probably some things he still enjoyed about the experience of making it, but yeah, it didn't become the film he wanted it to be. But I don't know, I think, yeah, over time, as he realizes, yeah, people still like it regardless, that given the opportunity to put it on Blu-ray, you know, at least to put out the best presentation possible. I don't know how grumpy he'd be about it, but we'll see. But I mean, like, the kind of overall consensus that he hates it and he's like actively trying to keep it down. So I don't know how true that is, but we'll see. Nice. Jonathan's parents like The Quick and the Dead. Excellent. They've got great taste. The movie's awesome. I should watch that again. It's been a little while. But yeah, I'm trying to remember what else I bought that day that came out. That wasn't that expensive, I remember, on LaserDiscs. I think I got like 3 movies the day that it came out. And I was just like, might have been Tank Girl. There was a great Tank Girl thread in LDF this week. Made me drag out my Tank Girl LP. Ancient DVD released The Quick of the Dead. Yeah, I know. I think I've got an old one that's early DVD. So it probably is just the same transfer. Did I have was there a Super Bit? I'm trying to remember if there was a Super Bit. Because I swear I bought it again on DVD, but I'm going to have to look into that. I was thinking about doing another video on Superbit DVDs and Divimax Anchor Bay DVDs. So keep it Michael Mann again. Do some Manhunter in there. Yeah, Tank Girl, I was just talking about, wanted to go see that in the theater. I had a blast with it. You know, obviously it wasn't exactly like the comics, and Tank Girl is better than Harley Quinn, and of course Margot Robbie's possibly being cast in the Tank Girl reboot. Lori Petty crushed it. That introduced me to Naomi Watts. The soundtrack was killer. Portishead in there, and freaking say what do you will about Courtney Love, she put together a really good soundtrack. Devo and freaking Army of Me by Bjork is such a killer tune. Yeah, Naomi Watts, Jet Girl. And you know, Ice-T as a mutant kangaroo dude. Malcolm McDowell was just chewing up the scenery. James Hong's in there. It's so kind of over the top, but yeah, I loved it. I had a good time with it, and of course, just the editing and the mixture of the graphics and animated stuff and live action, and it was fun. It was a good time. I saw that once or twice, maybe twice in the theaters. Shayna with Tanya Roberts on LD to watch. Nice. Heard the LD. Blu-ray was craptacular, so why not? Yeah, keep it LD. But yeah, so Tank Girl I've got on LaserDiscs. That's one of the weird LaserDiscs that confuses everybody because MGM theatrically for a while were using DTS for their stereo surround tracks instead of Dolby, and because DTS had DTS stereo, which was not the same thing as DTS 5.1 system. So a bunch of discs like Blown Away and Tank Girl, came out with that DTS stereo logo, and everyone's like, oh, well, I put it in, and it just comes up as like regular PCM, and it gets decoded as Logic, and because that came out years before DTS's coherent acoustics format came on LaserDisc, so it's not actually encoded in DTS. So, but yeah, mixes people up all the time. I still haven't bought that Johnny Quest Blu-ray. I suck. I so need to get that. Oh man, I love Johnny Quest. I've still got the DVD set, but yeah, I really need to get that Blu-ray. Damn. Thanks for reminding me though. Yeah, Super Bits. It's funny because they were a little controversial because at the time everyone's like, "Whoa, they're just it's just all marketing gimmickry and everything like that." But I thought it was cool. I was down with it. Yeah. You give up some special features and extra languages and stuff like that, and you get all that maximum bit rate going to your video and everything. It was cool until they started I remember Panic Room was a little bit controversial because that came out and that had a second like Dolby stereo track on there, and like, hey, that's not it's supposed to just have one soundtrack on there. Man, these guys are never gonna stop. They're just like having a party out there. That guy's gonna run out of gas eventually. So there's just gonna be like this low rumble throughout this entire video. I haven't seen Batman animated series on Blu-ray. I'm excited to check that out though. I remember watching that pretty religiously when it was on TV. I never did pick up the DVD, so I'd be down to see it on Blu-ray. It'll be interesting because I want to see kind of what it brings out of the animation style. It was a cool idea to kind of like animate on black. It had a real kind of chalky kind of texture to it sometimes. It was interesting stuff. I'd be down to see that in high def for sure. I don't have the Star Trek LD box, the cartoons. That's still on my list. Yeah, classic Filmation kind of stuff. I just remember, it was like animation wasn't great, but I remember it was cool because they had still like DC Fontana. I don't know if Harlan Ellison wrote some, but it was still like Star Trek crew people like writing episodes, so it was pretty cool. Jackass Neighbors is not just a West Coast phenomenon. I know, and today's, it's February in New England, and today's actually like seasonal. Like it's been pretty warm around here for the bulk of the winter, but today's like one of the days where the snap came back, and these guys are just like, crack open a brew. We're gonna sit out here while this guy live streams. Talk about my ride. Check out my whip. They're just chilling out there. I know. I kind of want to invite them up. See what they're talking about. Maybe I could just put them in the back of the room, just like a little side podcast back there. Put a mic on, see what they're doing. You could like toggle back and forth between conversations. Well, Scott enjoys the Star Trek LD box. Yeah, I'd really like to get that. Yeah, Spock's Fang teddy bear pet. Good stuff. Yeah. Batman animated series. I think there was like some things, but there wasn't like a copious box or anything like that. But yeah, there was some Batman. Of course, Mask of the Phantasm, which is great. Early Mornings in the 1990s. Was that Star Trek or Batman? Because Star Trek I remember seeing occasionally. Oh, here comes somebody else. I have a cheap office space for this reason. Allows me to blast movies on it too. Yeah, it is nice being able to blast movies at night. Grabbing Engines is about family. Biker Bob, another Biker Bob. Yeah, Mask of the Phantasm was a great LD. Love that one. I picked that up at a flea market, or actually it was like a yard sale thing of all places. This one It wasn't a gated community, but it was just like a housing community that I had family living in at the time, and they had like a yearly, just kind of yard sale thing. I think that's the honk of goodbye. I think the night's almost over. Um, but yeah, one guy had I think a CLD 502 kicking around one time, and he wanted way too much for it. I never bought it. And then another dude had a bunch of LDs one time, so I bought RoboCop, Criterion off of them, and a bunch of Project Acos. They got to go buy gas, and yeah, Mask of the Phantasm, and I was like, yeah, sick. I always wanted to get that. And yeah, for the most part, yeah, same here. I never really those kind of things. I always think maybe there'll be a LaserDisc player or something like that, but yeah, it's usually just all built on hopes and dreams. I hate seeing, of course, everyone hates these when they see them in thrift stores. The 3 CD players, because you're like, could be a LaserDisc player, and then you get closer and you're like, it's a 5 CD player. Shoebox full of mask toys. Nice. Respect. Cheers. Especially if you got a T-Bob. T-Bob was my boy. Good stuff. Anime movies in 4 to 3. I can kind of go either way. It's cool having Transformers the movie in 4 to 3. But yeah, and I swear I've got some other ones that, I've letterboxed in some fashion, but I think it's a little bit more interesting. Someone doesn't like live streams. Let's gather and rev our engines and stop the live stream. It's kind of more interesting, I think, than when people collect 4 to 3 unmatted films. Because it's actually something that was hand drawn. That you're actually it's extra footage, but it's actually like extra footage somebody took time to do. So I always thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. The son of Matt Tracker, dude, excellent. So I'm cool with having the option. I'm trying to think of the last time I watched Transformers. I think I watched the 4 to 3 version. So yeah. I'm trying to think of others that I have that are like some of my animated stuff, my anime stuff, like Macross. Do You Remember Love? That's like always letterbox. So, and then all my other Macross stuff is all 4 to 3. I'm trying to think if I have any others that are multiple ratios, but yeah. Oh wait. What are my thoughts on the new Shout Escape from LA? I have not picked that up yet, but I'm going to. In fact, I was talking about that amplifier. Here's how you know I was serious about buying that amplifier. That Shout Factory John Carpenter sale went on, and there was like tons of stuff that I didn't have yet, and I needed to fill in those gaps, and I said nope. I backed away, and then I backed away from the 90s horror sale they had like a week later. It was crazy. Yeah, so I don't have the Escape from LA, but same with you. I saw it in the theaters, and I was pretty damn disappointed. I have it on LD. Cool soundtrack as well. So yeah, I'm intrigued to get it, because just from like special features standpoint, and just to have it on Blu-ray, definitely gonna grab that. I was pretty bummed when it came out theatrically, because Escape from New York was pretty legendary in my family, and I was sad seeing my dad sad, because for him, like, Snake Plissken was the coolest guy on earth, and like Escape from New York is like one of the grittiest, like, most badass movies ever, and then Escape from LA was just a different take on it, and yeah, it just didn't really kind of pay off in the way that one would want a proper sequel to Escape from New York. And it was just a bummer seeing my dad like just so disappointed. Was Watership Down ever released an LD? Yeah, I don't have it though. I should grab that at some point. I used to have Secret of Nim in 4 to 3 on DVD though. Yeah, Transformers on 1986 and LD, and that seems to be kind of creeping up in price a lot lately too. So yeah, and I don't have that on LD either. But I've got the Hot Rod. Yep, Hot Rod in pink. Yeah, I've got the Shout Factory 2-disc set, which is pretty badass. Yeah, Orson Welles and Leonard Nimoy in the same movie. and Weird Al Yankovic in the soundtrack. Yeah, buddy. Um, yeah, what else we got going on? Escape from, yeah, it felt like, yeah, and I know it was like kind of taking the piss at Hollywood in particular and things like that, but yeah, I don't know, man. And I at the time it came out too, I was even more in love with Escape from New York because the if I snake with the roll, yeah, right, yeah, my poor dad. The LaserDiscs set had come out with the of New York with Kurt Russell and John Carpenter commentary on there, and so I really listened to that. Kind of clued me into a lot of the kind of story beats and the structure of Escape from New York, and just kind of made me think about it like a little bit deeper than I had before. So it was with that in mind that I went to go see Escape from L.A., and that really kind of made it all jump out more. That like, oh, he's doing like the exact same story beats. Like, there's a point in Escape from New York where like Snake kind of reaches a dead end, just pulls up a chair and sits down and puts his head in his hands and pulls his hair back, and like he does the exact same thing in L.A. I'm like, oh, all right, I get it. They're doing the exact same story structure. I'm like, I guess that's cool. And then there was all this, LA commentary. So I know Carpenter had a blast with it. So in that regard, like, I know he had a fun time doing the whole kind of Hollywood parody aspect of it. And Bruce Campbell is a crazed plastic surgeon. Like, on paper, that stuff. If it wasn't a Snake Plissken movie, I probably would have loved all those aspects. And of course, there's the notorious CGI that didn't hold up too well. Didn't look good even in theaters when it came out. That early stuff with the underwater traveling to Hollywood, it was pretty rough. I mean, compared to the traveling into New York and how badass the special effects were. They were just like painted models with like glowing edges. And it's still like I still watch it today and think that looks like cool computer graphics, like just how well they did it with practical effects in New York, and then just how it kind of was with L.A. But yeah, it has its moments, I guess. I'm gonna have to watch it again, and I'll definitely watch that Blu-ray and check that out. I did get Once Upon a Time in Hollywood on 4K, but I haven't dug into the special features yet and all that stuff. That was one of my favorites of last year. That, Knives Out, Midsummer was my number one of last year. But yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was a damn close bit of competition there. First time Jonathan heard Rob Zombie's speaking voice was the MTV special about Escape from. Yeah, I miss some of those MTV specials. I remember there was one about Beavis and Butthead, and yeah, Rob Zombie, man. He's still got a house in my state every once in a while. I hear people that run into him, and I used to go hang out in his old hometown, Haverhill, Mass, quite often. Met him once, maybe back in the '90s. It was cool. It was kind of shy, interestingly. It was cool. But yeah, it's his track on Escape from New York, our LA soundtrack is pretty badass. It was a good soundtrack, yeah. Oh yeah, some of the CGI in HD. I can only imagine this is going to be interesting. Character designer Secret Nim will be at Boxborough Comic Con next month. Oh, damn. Yeah, I'm hoping to hit some Comic Cons this year. I haven't actually announced it yet, but Freddie Williams is doing the art for my band's album that's coming out. So, and I think he said he might be coming to somewhere in New Hampshire later this year. So I'm hoping to get up there for that one and say what up. But super psyched to be able to share this artwork when it should be coming in like the final colored versions pretty soon. So we'll be dropping that on your head soon. Yeah, Frank Doubleday is Romero. Romero, he was the coolest, man. The creepiest. Like, yeah, that's just everything about New York just was so right. Yep. Good times. So yeah, I'm intrigued to kind of reevaluate LA. We'll see. Um, yeah, there's a show that isn't nearly as good without the music videos. Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, I don't have any of the LDs or any of that stuff, and I know there was some DVDs of piecemeal episodes, but I would love to get the kind of fan created, just straight off of VHS releases that have been trading around. I used to see those on like Demonoid back in the day. Because it's funny, because I remember when the episode first happened, the very first one, because I remember seeing Frog Baseball and all the old Milton stuff. I used to go to the Spike and Mike Sick and Twisted film festivals, the animation film festivals, and so I was into Mike Judge. So I'm like, oh, cool, he's going to be doing this. The Beavis and Butthead characters from Frog Baseball, like they're going to make their own show. So I'm like, sick. So I tuned in that first episode. And when they did the videos, I'm like, what kind of MTV crap is this? They're just too cheap to animate a show for half an hour. They're just going to cut to... It was bad enough Liquid Television would bend the rules of what was animation. Like, they'd stick a piece of plastic on someone's head and be like, it's animated. Or just have a doll on a motorcycle and be like, it's animated. So yeah, I was always like kind of cynical about MTV being cheap. And then Beavis and Butthead started. I'm like, they're just going to waste like half the running time on music videos. But obviously... I was proven wrong, and Beavis and Butthead's take on the music videos was kind of what made the show. So it's good stuff. Carpenter hasn't done any major stuff since The Ward, and that was just kind of like a director for hire thing. I really liked his Cigarette Burns short piece he did for the Masters of Horror series. I like that a lot, but yeah, The Ward was very un-Carpenter. It was, it wasn't 2.35 to 1. It wasn't, it didn't have, his score. I actually don't hate it as much as a lot of other people. I didn't mind it. It was okay. Yeah, exactly. But it felt very much like, for hire. That's it. I don't necessarily mind John Carpenter for hire. I had just watched, was it Someone's Watching Me? For the first time last year. I love that. I thought that was really fun. That's also, of course, shot for television, so it's not widescreen, Panavision or anything like that. But Carpenter and Verho have been pretty much predicted everything. Yeah, for sure. They're pretty prophetic. I was just watching Starship Poopers not too long ago, so good stuff. Even though, man, my wife hates it. Don't tell her. I like it. But yeah, the Beavis and Butthead videos, man, yeah, that was classic. And then sometimes they'd have like a band on I loved, and they make fun of it. I'd be like, oh, come on, man. Like, everybody knows this is a cool video. But De Palma's Domino. I'm trying to remember. Have I seen that? Did I see that? I'm trying to remember. It felt a bit cheap. Felt like one of those Euro Detective TV series that gets shown on BBC4. I don't think I've seen that. Huh. There was one video with the creepy guys and a hot woman, and they would get excited, and the video showed her, and then cringe when it switched the guys. Yeah, good stuff. I remember them doing like flaming lips and stuff, and just freaking out. And what was it, like Push the Little Daisies? I remember that video, and like Beavis is just spazzing out and Push the Little Daisies. DVD Demonoid. Oh yeah, so Jonathan's got the Demonoid collection of Beavis and Butthead. Oh, and you got like custom covers printed at Kinko's. Cool. Did you pay for the Kinko's with little cutouts of printed money like Beavis did? What, this change your mind? That's just a copy of a nickel. You cut it out. Going to Pirate Bay. I miss Demonoid. Demonoid was a good place to hang out back in the day. I didn't do too much Pirate Bay action, but I did pop onto the Demonoid occasionally. Not for nefarious reasons, but cool things like that. Beavis and Butthead, like all ripped from some dude's VHS tape. So, love it. And MTV is so, hit or miss with, of course, the rights, all the stuff that they could show on TV that they can't necessarily put out there in home video without paying for it. So I've got, a lot of old stuff taped off the air, and The State was one. I used to love The State. Like, great absurdist humor, and they used so much stuff that was just like, like MTV was just so, bold-faced about, using whatever music they had at their beck and call to populate the series, that they would have on like Real World and stuff like that. Be like, well, Radiohead's High and Dry is now the background music for this, and Radiohead didn't say that was cool, but too bad because they sent us their video. We could do whatever we want, but yeah. So like the state, came out on DVD, and then they couldn't afford all the rights, so they had to like take out. But it's like some of the music in that is so like integral to the skits, like the bits with Enya and the Breeders, Cannonball, like it's like just part of the skit, like I don't know. So yeah, it's good to have that stuff on tape. I haven't checked out Night Flight's series or streaming thing. I've heard they've got pretty much everything going on there, and I just saw they struck a deal with Sub Pop. I think they got a bunch of Sub Pop videos and stuff. I don't know how much it is, but I used to love watching Night Flight on USA Network back in the day. The coolest stuff. Yeah, exactly. That Beavis and Butthead stuff, like, is that ever going to get squared away and released? Yeah, no. It's almost like, historical, documentation at this point. Like, yeah, thankfully somebody's got to do it. Demonoid for Blake 7 VHS rips back in the day. Nice. Good stuff. Yeah, man, I love the fact that there's people doing the Lord's work and making those rips of those old VHS tapes. I've been doing archiving of all my old stuff, and it's probably nothing needed, because every time I think about something, like, oh, I've got that, I taped that, and somebody else already has it. And I was doing a lot of Twin Peaks archiving because I taped pretty much anything related to Twin Peaks back in the day. So yeah, it was just last year doing like the 1990 Emmys and every like kind of appearance on Entertainment Tonight with anybody related to the Twin Peaks, and there was like a VH1 special about the music. So that was pretty cool. And so yeah, just in case nobody backed that stuff up, I just did a bunch of archiving. So if anybody needs any Twin Peaks stuff, let me know. But I've got a lot of old Night Flights too. But I guess that stuff's already online anyways. But I still might back up my copies anyways, just for shits and giggles. Yeah, Daria got the music removed too. Yeah, that was a fun show. Different vibe altogether for sure. But yeah, it was cool. I liked the sardonic humor. The characters were pretty cool for the most part. The Jeff Rubin show. I have not heard that. It's a dude with the Lord. I know Christian Hen Horror, who I am friends with, has a friend that is just called Beavis and Butthead Collector, I think, on Instagram. And I don't know if he's the same dude, but that dude's got a crushingly huge Beavis and Butthead collection. Just ridiculous amount of Beavis stuff. It's pretty amazing. So, USA Up All Night and Saturday Nightmares. Yeah, buddy. Oh man, Headbangers Ball, dude. I do have a lot of those too. Not as many as I should. Yeah, man, I used to watch that back in the day. I remember when they used to have like animation of we had like Megadeth playing. It was like animation of a guy like tearing up a motorcycle, like going off a cliff. Then they changed it to like Stormtroopers of Death, and they had like the trains colliding and all that stuff. I remember watching when Ricky Rackman hosted, and then like was it Adam what's his face? He was like the big big poofy hair guy that was like all into the glam metal, and then we were like, this guy's not metal, get off my Headbangers Ball. Yep, I remember that. And who else used to host that? And of course the little later years, Jamie Josta used to host. But yeah, I remember watching that a lot. So I did tape a lot of this stuff. But my only gripe was like they would play so much stuff that they would play during the day, because I mean they were hot on playing all the hair metal stuff. But then other things like Tesla and other cool like just rock. And they would play like Guns N' Roses and stuff like that, like in Headbangers Ball. I'm like, dude, like this gets. It wasn't like it was now. Like that stuff was like the popular music. Like the kids were into it back then. So that stuff was, if there was a TRL back then, they would. Or I think they did have like a top 20 video countdown thing, and it's like all that stuff was in it already. So it's like Headbangers Ball. We should play more Coroner videos and Overkill and stuff like that. So it used to bum me out when like they'd go from like something like Exodus, and then the next one was like Bang Tango, or and I'm like, come on, man, I don't need like yeah, I mean put it in its own thing, but yeah. Still, I watched it religiously. Headbangers Ball that's where it was at. Lynch got an, oh yeah, what did Lynch get an honorary for? Did anybody watch Lynch's like What Did Jack Do, or the little short bit with the monkey? I did watch that. That was pretty fun. The monkey's voice is like, ow. What was it, Totataban or whatever the chicken name? Oh no. This crazy stuff. Oh man, Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson. Balls. Jeffrey Peterson was my idol. Yeah, he was the coolest. Love that show. My parents were Craig addicts, and every time they went out to Vegas to visit family, they would go to LA and do tapings there, and they were just like totally hooked on Craig. My mom still got his snake mug with the ceramic mug on his desk all the time. Yep. Tutti Frutti. Freaking love Craig. It's a good show. Yeah, I don't have that Japanese Guide to Twin Peaks LD. The only stuff I got so far is the Japanese Fire Walk With Me and the pilot. And I need to get the multiple thinner box sets and then the big super box set at some point. And yeah, I don't have that Guide to Twin Peaks. But I got to get it at some point because they're so affordable now. I remember going to Laser Craze in Boston on Newberry Street and seeing those boxes up there, and I swear they were like $300-400 for like some of the bigger ones, and I was just like, holy crap, that's not happening. So the fact that I can kind of afford them now, I'd be like, yes, I need to get those suckers. Submarines LDS2 is doing well. Excellent. I'm jealous. I would love to have an LDS2 someday. I'll get one, or an X1 or something like that. It's got an opportunity to get an X9, but didn't go for it. All right, fair enough. You got an LDS too. I mean, nothing to sneeze at there, that's for sure. My favorite Beavis Bud headline: remember when Bon Jovi was cool? No. What was it the other day? I was thinking about asbestos and obstetrics. We now return to asbestos and obstetrics. I want a gay robot skeleton, right? Jeffrey Peterson was the coolest. And then he would like break down randomly. One of her favorite late night gags was Conan did a spoof of Led Zeppelin song remains the same. Nice. Conan's got some good stuff with his newer stuff. I love his stuff with Jordan Schlansky. It's amazing. Or just any stuff with him with Sona or abusing his staff is great stuff. The pantomime horse, yeah. Craig's show was good as well. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, Craig was cool because he could just get away with, just doing whatever and getting weird. I love that about him. Yeah, definitely miss that show. So what have I been watching lately? Kind of trying to think about catching up on. We've been doing some more Dark Shadows. We're trying to get up to like Barnabas. We're doing like the original Dark Shadows. Yeah, we're slowly powering our way through. We're still not at Barnabas. We're still like, Secretariat. Still all Burke Devlin is the big villain, which is of course Greg's dad from Dharma and Greg, and of course from freaking Halloween 6. Yeah, but yeah, so it's been pretty fun watching those. It's starting to get a little supernatural now. Finally, there's some ghosts and things like that are actually manifesting. So, but we haven't gotten to the vampires yet. Getting there, slowly but surely. It takes a while for Barnabas to show up. Watched a really cool documentary about Dark Shadows. On I think it was New Year's Eve actually. We were watching some random documentaries about Dan Curtis and him doing the Winds of War too, and all that stuff, and his whole career and how he wasn't really that excited about horror stuff, but then happened to create Dark Shadows too. I like the reboot Dark Shadows with Ben Cross and Joanna Going and was it Anthony? Yeah, it was a good one. Yeah, I gotta catch up on Curb stuff too. Yeah, I gotta see that. I haven't checked out. I haven't peeped The Outsider yet. What else is out? That's like kind of new-ish. I know there was some newish Netflix stuff too that I still haven't seen The Witcher yet either. So, Willie Loomis, yes, thank you, Willie Loomis. Unleash that Barnabas. Oh, nice. Keith's doing some Kolchak the Night Stalker stuff too. Yeah, man. Yeah, Darren McGavin. Night Stalker was fun stuff. I even have the Night Stalker reboot DVD set, of course, yeah, with was it Stuart Townsend there? Mr. I Almost Was Aragorn. It's funny because it's like Kolchak inspired the X-Files, and then the X-Files heavily inspired the Night Stalker reboot, which was like helmed by a lot of X-Files people. It was pretty X-Filesy, and it kind of was fun. It was building up. Like there was some bits with like a bunch of undead bikers, and I'm like, I'm so down for this like trio of badass undead bikers. This is cool. Sign me up. Yeah, I haven't watched Picard yet either. Yeah, and then Night Stalker just tanks up. But I got that DVD set, so why not? Yeah, Buffy on LD. I'm trying to think of timing wise. When did that show drop? I mean, that would be something like Japan would put like in a box set like crazy. But if there was a Charmed box set, I know I'd be buying that for my wife. But yeah, it might just been timing. But it is weird, like kind of how hit or miss it is with things on LD. I'm still blown away that there's no Miami Vice box set on LD. Man, my collection should have a sick Miami Vice box set up right back there behind me. Oh yeah, I haven't seen Mr. Robot final season, but I've got 1 through 3 on Blu-ray, and I'm definitely going to be watching that. My dad is like loves Mr. Robot. He's like even from the word go, he was just like freaking out over it. So he like forced me and the whole family to watch season 1 like pretty much over 2 nights. And yeah, he's a cool guy. So I gotta watch the final season just to do him proud. And Buffy was probably just a little too late. Yeah, 97. That's what I thought. Later 90s. Yeah, no silver spoons on LD. Oh man, yeah, that's the thing that sucks too when you got one season like Amazing Stories. Like there was random episodes on LD in Japan and the States, and then they came out with that sick season 1 box set on DVD that came in like a book, like an oversized book, and then they didn't drop season 2. I'm like, what the hell? So I still have the one like double episode thing with Family Dog and the killer Go to the Head of the Class with Christopher Lloyd, which is amazing. That's like great stuff. But yeah, that was pissing me off, and it's like partial. Speaking of Dharma and Greg, I think I got seasons 1 through 3 on DVD from my wife, and then or maybe just 1 and 2, and then they pooped out on it. It's like burp, burp. The Old Night Stalker, yeah, that Old Night Stalker is cool stuff, man. Yeah, Amazing Stories was great. I love, man, anthology stuff in the 80s between, later on Tales from the Crypt. That was kind of on the cusp, but, Tales from the Dark Side. And yeah, the Twilight Zone reboot was there was a lot of good writers on the Twilight Zone reboot from the 80s. But yeah, Amazing Stories had the money behind it too. Yeah, Spielberg, producing that. Good cast in there. A lot of big people. Kind of, I think even Kevin Costner was one of the first ones with the airplane with the cartoon wheels and stuff like that. Some of them were like a little more like kind of saccharine and kind of sweet, and so they weren't always terrifying. But there was some really good stuff on there. Mummy Daddy was a killer one. Yeah, some of them had Danny Elfman music on them. Mummy Daddy was fantastic. Where there was a guy like playing a mummy in a movie, and he got a call that his wife was delivering, so he had to get to the hospital, but he didn't have time to take off the mummy. Rap, that was great. Yeah, Family Dog, Brad Bird's animated one that Tim Burton did the design work on. That's really good. So many killer episodes on there. So, MST3K on LD is just the movie, which of course I had to get. I saw that in the theaters, which is nice, and I wish there was some nice boxes of those suckers too. I was actually surprised when the Shout Factory was putting them on DVD, because I never really thought they'd kind of get it all worked out, getting the rights for the movies and stuff. Twilight's in the movie. It's funny. I saw a little bit late. I saw them in the 99-cent theater, second run theater. So it took me a little while to go see it, and it's funny because I remember, I think I terrified myself going to see it. Like I would just kind of work myself into a like a feverish, terror-filled state before seeing it. Because some of it's pretty, like the saccharine Spielberg thing, the kick the can thing is pretty, it's it's pretty tame. It's not very scary at all. But I kind of like gotten so knotted up over the opening that freaked me out. The Dan Aykroyd thing. I think that freaked me out so much, like, because I was already like in my mind that it was going to be terrifying, and then I saw that, and then like that kind of the terror of that opening just, I don't know, it just stuck with me for the rest of the movie. So even though some of the bits in the movie weren't that terrifying, of course the opening, the Nam sequence, which got truncated heavily because of the helicopter crash disaster. That whole thing was super scary and stuff. Just like a metaphysical terror. The terror being being the other and being put in danger because of that. So that was interesting. And then the Spielberg one was pretty sweet overall. And then the redo of the Bill Mumy one with the kid with the powers was pretty cool. But the John Lithgow closer was great. So a little bit of a mixed bag. But yeah, exactly. Spielberg's one is a little bit slushy, a little sentimental. So that was like a little bit of a down kind of thing. It was fun enough to watch and everything like that. But yeah, the redo of Terror at whatever 1,000 feet. Instead of Shatner, you got Lithgow was fantastic, and then I loved how it had the kind of recap with Credence and Dan Aykroyd again. But it was a mixed bag, but it was the '80s, so I still if it was like sentimental Spielberg, I was still cool with it for what it was. But it was some of the stuff was pretty cool and freaky. But I would love to have that on. I don't think I have that on video at all, so I wouldn't mind revisiting that. Some films I saw on MST3K that I want on DVD, Village of the Giants. Yeah, I know, and especially on MST3K, they truncate the films so many times, like, because I've got This Island Earth on LaserDisc, and I've got the Mystery Science Theater, the movie, on LaserDisc, and it's a lot more kind of truncated. Only seen the 90s reboot of Outer Limits. I've got 4 of the box sets, thanks to Lance from Retroware, hooked me up with those. So those are really cool. A lot of good stuff on those. But the 90s one, I saw like Scattershot. That was one of those things, I think it was like syndicated. So it would like show up like randomly at different times, or it was on late at night. Some of the stuff I saw was pretty good though. Are there any Beach Blanket Bingo movies in LD? Damn, there must be. I haven't seen those in ages. Probably like TBS or something like that, like back in the day. Pete's in the house. What's up, my friend? I'm still waiting to sell that Matrix Snapper. I think I got 2 of them, so. Jonathan's got some of the MST3K Shot Factory sets. Yeah, those are nice. I miss Turkey Day. Again, of course, I kind of have a Thanksgiving tradition now where I can't avoid people, and just sit in the corner and watch MST3K all day, but I should. But I miss those Comedy Central Turkey Days festivals. And our Netflix is losing the old classic MST3Ks. Lots of riff tracks on Amazon Prime still, which is nice. So, jokes that. How am I doing? Doing well. Can't complain. Having a good night. We're gonna try the streaming rig on the new setup in here, and seems to be going well. This actually says excellent, so that's good. I've got 2 green dots, so we're doing okay. So this seems to be like a good. My CPU's not maxed out. That's a good thing. Seems to be like a good thing. Maybe I can even up the resolution in the future. Seems to be the new status quo. So I'll try and do more more live streams. So as I said before, the whole live stream thing kind of got kicked to the curb because of health issues and things like that. But then, like I said, this whole room, I want to rework it and get this whole thing going. So I figured I wouldn't start up again until I get this all established. So so I had to tear down furniture, I had to install new furniture, then getting that new amplifier meant redesigning so much stuff up here. So I had to pull a receiver out of that, put a receiver in there, pouring a receiver from downstairs, put it in that, Redid this whole thing, rehooked everything up to my TV back here, and yeah, it was a lot of work. So, and yeah, I wanted to get this all up and running, and then have my 2 monitors going here so I can be able to see my kind of studio in this corner, and then see, you know, YouTube and everything going on over here. So much better. It's cool. So yeah, now I can, you know, maybe do things a little bit more interesting and have a cool intro and things like that. So we'll try and zazz up the live stream a little bit. But other than that, yeah, I haven't been picking up too many discs, but I'm starting to get the itch to, now that, of course, that I've thinned the herd, I got rid of about 150 or so stragglers. My old work collection I didn't have space for anymore. Because, yeah, we've got a new office. It's farther away. And it was cool. Like, you know, the old office, I was on the first floor. And so, like, if I ever needed to run in and grab a player or, like, a bunch of discs or something, I could just, like, stop by because it was, like, just minutes from my house. And I could, like, run in, bam, grab some LD stuff and move. But, like, it's way more of a thing at the new office. So, and everybody's kind of like, working from home a lot, and it's not really the big kind of environment that it used to be. So all those discs came back here, and I don't really have the space for them at the moment. So yeah, thankfully Paul and LDF was able to help out with those. And what else is going on? 4K77, need to get it off of eBay. It'll be like, yeah, one of these days I got to get 4K77. Yeah, actually I know somebody that I was going to trade hard drives with, and get a copy of that and some other scans and all that stuff. Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna get it, and by then, yeah, something else will be out. Nobody will care anymore. 8K77 will be. But yeah, I'm intrigued to check it out for sure. Fat Beach, nice, pretty odd and tempting. No, I'm a big metal fan of. Have I heard of the band Tool? Yeah, it's funny. Tool is one of those bands I should be more into than I am. There's some Tool CDs. I think I'm touching one right now, or maybe it's over there. There's Tool CDs right in there. I got a handful, and you know, I love the production. The new stuff, it wasn't too bad. I know a lot of people were kind of crapping on the new album, but I didn't mind it too much. It was like a little more, I like the kind of jammier build to some of the songs. I haven't picked it up yet just because there was the the deluxe like $35 CD or something like that, and I wasn't like such a major Tool fan that if it was maybe Mastodon, I would probably run out and buy that right away, or Rush or something like that. But I wouldn't mind picking that up at some point. But yeah, I always feel like I should be a bigger Tool fan than I am. But yeah, because they're one of those bands that like you're either like really into them or you're just kind of like. But yeah, I do appreciate them, and as players, they're freaking monster players, man. All those guys, like, and Maynard makes a good wine, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, like Perfect Circle and other Tool related projects. But yeah, SO Marines taking off. Cheers, my friend. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. But yeah, so I should be into them more. I didn't get to see them when they toured because I'm bummed because Killing Joke was open for them. But then I'm also not bummed because Tool fans are very focused. And I remember being disappointed that I didn't see their tour when Tomahawk opened for them. And then all I heard was about how nobody that wanted to see Tool wanted to see Tomahawk. And I was like, yeah, I bet Killing Joke went down almost exactly the same. Like, these guys are like freaking legends. Yeah, influencing Metallica. And I'm sure like nobody wanted to give them the time of day. So I'm like kind of glad I didn't see Killing Joke in that environment. But yeah, I did think it was awesome too. The bit where Wolfgang Peterson took the picture of the guy that wanted Eddie Van Halen to take his picture with the Tool stage behind him, and he had no idea it was Eddie Van Halen, like just some random dude. Hey, old guy, take my picture in front of the Tool stage. I keep multiple VCRs. Hold on. Burp, 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 burp. there's a little cheapie right there, hooked up there. And downstairs, I've got a JVC SVHS player, and I've got that routed through into my DVD recorder too, so I can make backups and things like that. So I've got just two VCRs hooked up. But yeah, I used to have a NEC like Flying Eraserhead, bad boy back in the day. Then I didn't step up because it wasn't quite as heavy duty a player, but I got a one of the RCA ones that said home theater right on it. I freaking love that thing. I picked that up from Sears back in 95 or 96 maybe, and that thing survived until just a couple of years ago. I was really bummed when that crapped out actually, because I love that player. Let's see, Pete's been watching some movies. Joker, I still haven't gotten around to watching it. I've got it, I just haven't gotten around to watching it. Lighthouse I own, again, haven't gotten around to watching it, which is funny because that was one of the ones, because I was like, I loved The Witch, so I'm like, Eggers is doing a movie that's like somewhat Lovecraftian, and a weird vibe. I'm like, I'm gonna go sit in the theater, and then it didn't play anywhere around here. And then like at that point, like once that like the roller coaster goes over the hill, I'm like, I'll watch it whenever. Like the buzz had already been, the balloon had been popped, and I'm just like, I'll watch it 30 years from now. I don't care. So I'm still gonna watch it, even though it's like one of the movies I was looking forward to the most last year. So it's completely ridiculous that I still have it like on my shelf downstairs, still watch it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I loved. That was up there. Like I said before, Knives Out, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Midsummer were my top three. Last year. I was really bummed too. I want to go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood again in theaters, but I didn't get a chance to. But of course, I got the 4K, so I freaking love it. Scott's. I've told I'm a big tool. What else have I been watching? I was watching some Cannibal Corpse videos. Watched the Global Evisceration video, which is great. You can see George Corpse Grinder Fisher fight a tornado. And then that made me think I haven't watched the Centuries of Torment release, which I didn't realize how old this is. It's widescreen, but it's not even formatted for 69 TVs, so I was tearing that up last night. I'm in a big Cannibal Corpse mood this week. Blue Velvet Criterion, nice. That's the thing. Like the Joker movie, it's like I have friends that love it. I have friends that really didn't like it because of that, because they're like, it's just King of Comedy and Taxi Driver mixed together. I really did like the Grouch spoof that freaking Hopper did on SNL there. So I thought that was pretty good. I'm grouchy. So yeah, one of these days I got to check it out. But I kind of want to see all the DC stuff, regardless of whether they hit it out of the park or not. I'll still watch it all. But yeah, I got to check it out. So I know it was kind of like a zeitgeist moment last year for sure, and I missed the boat on it altogether. But I'll sit down and watch it sometime. But yeah, Blue Velvet Criterion is nice stuff. That was good. Looking forward to the next Criterion sale. Should be able to partake. Probably July. Yeah, I think they usually do it in July. That'll probably be the next one. What else we got going? Eraserhead on Criterion was a dream come true too. Yeah, I know. I was excited for the longest time for having the Korean DVD import I had, and then just watching that again recently. Like, it's like like lots of compression artifacts and things like that. Like it's okay, but it was good to have Eraserhead on DVD. And then I know Lynch was selling it himself from like his site, because that's where I bought his short films, like that weird big oversized box I bought from like Lynch.com. Then after I bought that, he came out with Eraserhead, and I never did pick up that version. And then the Criterion came out. Holy crap, that's amazing. That is really good stuff. I saw that movie for the first time. I was trying to remember when I was a teenager or like tween or something like that. But it put the stink on me. Yeah, I heard about Rad getting a 4K scan. That'll be interesting to see the LaserDisc prices go down, because that was kind of like one of the killer apps. And there's so many sealed copies of it out there. There's dudes that are hoarding boxes of sealed copies of that stuff. And then, hustling them on eBay for decent coin. But now that 4K scan's coming out, they're probably just it's gonna be like Marauders Metropolis all over again. Boom, floor drops out. Yes, what else we got going on here? Oh yeah, Color Out of Space. I'm psyched. That was playing in a state near me, but I didn't get to go check it out. So yeah, I'm psyched to get that. That should be out on Blu-ray next week. So I'm gonna be peeping that. I still haven't seen I think it was German Color Out of Space either. I gotta get a copy of that at some point. I know definitely not as wild and wacky, but I'm psyched that Richard Stanley's doing movies again, and psyched that he's kind of in the spotlight again, which is awesome. Saw City Heat the other day. Oh damn, what a bad movie. Nice. Yeah, so I'm psyched for Call Outer Space. Do I have a favorite Lovecraft story? Yeah, the original Call of Cthulhu is up there. The Outsider is up there. That's just crushingly good. Yeah, some of the like the big kind of heavy hitter, Shadow over Innsmouth, is pretty unstoppable. But some of the smaller ones I really like too. I really like the Festival. I really like the one he ghost wrote for Harry Houdini. Oh, what the hell's the name of that one? The one that takes place in Egypt. Really like that one. I kind of love them all to some respect. Some of them are a little, shoddier. Whisper in the Darkness is pretty damn good. But, like Shadow over Innsmouth and Call of Cthulhu. At the Mountains of Madness is amazing. But yeah, if I had, but like for a short, kind of crushingly good one, it's not really much for like the mythos, but The Outsider is like, that's pretty badass. So that's up there for sure. But yeah, those ones in particular would probably be my favorites. But Color Out of Space I really enjoyed a lot too. But yeah, Dunnet Shore, yeah, that's good stuff. I'd love to see Richard Stanley doing that. I've got the the old one with what's his face? Dr. Yui. I don't know why I can't think of his name. Dean Stockwell. And I like that's pretty ballsy as part of some of the camera work and everything like that. It's pretty great with him like straddling the grave and everything like that. There's that fisheye lens looking up at him. It's like pretty trippy stuff. It's pretty low budget, but it's cool. Pete likes Mulholland Drive. Nice. Good flick. I think my favorite Lynch is still Lost Highway, with probably Blue Velvet creeping right behind it. People seem weirdly down on Mulholland Drive these days. That's funny because, younger Twin Peaks fans. I'm still more of a fan of the TV pilot. And I kind of like in my head, I'm still like completely bummed out that I never got to see the alternate world where the TV pilot became a TV series. But the movie itself, I love that Criterion release. So it's great to have. But I love that pilot, man. I wish there was a nice version of the pilot. That would be my dream. I was so bummed that Criterion didn't put it out there. But I know Lynch has completely walked away from that and doesn't like it. And the film is what he wants and everything like that. So and Lost Highway, I guess I fell in love with before, so that kind of comes up higher. And there's not that caveat of like, it was going to be a TV show. And Mulholland Drive, it's always like a kind of like a what if for me. Like, what if I got to see Robert Forster's character do more stuff in episode 2? But yeah, I want to kick it out of bed. Like, man, it's the mood in that thing. And yeah, so good. But yeah, not as good as Lost Highway Mulholland. Yeah, it's funny because I remember when it came out, it was like critically acclaimed, way more than Lost Highway. But yeah, it's interesting. Arthur Clarke, not lately. I was just talking to my dad about that because there was some Arthur C. Clarke stuff. We were like he had just read some more stuff, and I was like, I should check out some more stuff. But yeah, I had a decent amount of his books, growing up, but it's been quite some time since I've read any. I should really dig into more like Larry Niven stuff that I've got kicking around the shelves that I haven't read in a dog's age. Because a lot of that stuff I read when I was younger, so I probably half remember it now. It'd be cool to kind of go back to it. I do have a Gate to the Mind's Eye. I used to have the DVD too. I forgot what was it, Scimitar or something used to drop those out. But yeah, I've got Gate to the Mind's Eye. Tear it up, buddy. And was it Beyond the Mind's Eye? I think there was like 3 or 4 of those in the series. But I remember Gate to the Mind's Eye was the cool one because it had the Thomas Dolby music, and you could buy the Thomas Dolby CD separately. Yeah, I was a big kind of Thomas Dolby mood recently too. Oh, Zordak, thank you, my friend. Big LaserDisc fan. What kind of TV do you recommend to watch? LaserDisc CRTs. You know, this kind of comes up on LDF a lot, and there's so many camps kind of going on. There's the only CRT camp. There's the like only watch them on PVM camp. Then there's the only watch them on plasma camp. Then there's only watch them on projectors camp. And then some guys like getting OLEDs and everything like that. I can roll with all of them actually. I've still got a CRT direct view that I watch LDs on, and yeah, I still like watching them on that. And I had a Sony Trinitron at the office I used to watch LDs on. I had a Sony RPTV, like 3-gun CRT I used to watch LDs on. I used to enjoy it on that. I've got Sony SXRD projector that I watch them on, and then I've got that TV right behind me that I watch them on, and I enjoy them on everything. I have seen some LCD TVs where LD starts to look very crayon-like and kind of smeared and everything like that. So I can definitely understand those. But then again, I have some of those TVs that they kind of look that way with everything. But I guess there's something about HD that kind of surpasses their faults a little bit. But obviously it's just like Flickr City right now. But I freaking love watching LDs on this thing. The blacks are just black, and if you don't even want to zoom, if you just want to window box everything and just turn the lights off, you'll never know that you're not watching it on an old 4:3 TV because you just blackness all around it. Every time I watch these from like this spot, like kind of right behind me, like I'm always like blown away at like how like close it is to CRT, but then without any of the kind of like detriments of like CRT. I'm like it's pretty damn good. So, and that's just like a low rent 4K. So yeah, I can kind of roll with everything. Certainly, CRTs have that punch, that dynamic punch. But of course, if you take the time to dial in some of the other format, available, you can get the punch. I can get that thing pretty punchy. CRT's just great plug and play. Like you just plug it in immediately with 3 cables and it looks badass. So and sounds badass. But yeah, I'm not like got to be one way or the other. I can adapt. I can move, and kind of adapt. And there's things I like about different. I've seen some plasmas playing LEDs that look pretty damn good, and but yeah, and I don't have an OLED 4K, but I've heard some people that have had great results on that, and some people not so much. But I freaking love that low rent 4K Aquos I got. Freaking LD looks badass on it, like stupid good. Like every time I watch it, I'm like, I don't miss my CRTs at all on this thing. It's like everything that's great about CRT and then some. Of course, when you crawl up on it and get your head in the screen, like you start to see, standard definition artifacts and things like that. But if you just have a reasonable distance, it's still a huge picture and looks pretty damn good. So yeah, so I'm good. I can move around a little bit. What did I miss? Okay, I had to roll up a little bit on the Mind's Eye World. Yeah, remember those days when you're like, oh man, old CG, watching the Mind's Eyes, watching the Listerine commercial, the Tarzan Listerine bottle. You're like, whoa, man, the future is now. Of course, the stained glass man and young Sherlock Holmes. CLD S250, is that worth $100? I haven't. Is that a PAL NTSC player? I'm trying to think, because I've had an S201, and some of the single-sided 90s players are actually pretty nice, in fact, because they don't have any processing to the signal. Like I had the 201, and if you hook it up to like something good, like it looks pretty decent because it's not being filtered or tinkered with or anything like that. So theoretically, you'd get more inherent picture noise, but if you run it through a good processor into a good TV, you get a lot of bang for your buck. I really like the CLD2 S201. I haven't seen an S250. $100 might be a little bit on the high side for anything that's not like a D double-sided model. So yeah, I mean, I'd probably try and chop that price down a little bit. But yeah, I've gotten, I forgot how much. I think I got the S201, but that was part of a deal. That was like a combo deal. I think it was like $40 or $60 for a pile of discs and the player. But that was that's a different kind of scenario. But I really like that player. It was like really good. I know some other guys that have high end stuff and like X9s and stuff like that. And they said the same thing. Like, if I had to live with a CLD like S201, like I'd be cool. It's definitely, if I had that back in the day, I would have been totally happy with it. Of course, it doesn't have like AC3 or anything like that, or nothing even digital out, but still a nice little player. Film here, Jamie. Thanks for the Snapper Case show. Thanks for watching it, man. Again, like I was saying before, I was kind of had mixed feelings about them because I remember back in the day, I, like everyone else, hated them. But then now there's this kind of newfound nostalgia for them, and I'm still like kind of like, yeah, Snapper Cases, whatever. But I started thinking about them, like, well, I do have a lot of them. It might be fun to kind of go back and look over the particular titles that I actually almost wanted to do a Snapper Case in memoriam, because as I was doing that, I kept thinking about all the cool ones I used to have that I sold to like FYE or Newberry Comics or something like that, and I was like, damn, I really should have done like a photo montage of all the snappers that I had and lost, loved and lost. Because now I kind of like wish I had held on to some more of those. Like my Blade Runner Director's Cut snapper, I just kicked off to the curb, and like I should have kind of held on to that, but oh well. I have not checked out the HD Lost Highway. I'm dying for like a proper like Criterion collection or something like that. But yeah, I would like that. That's a tough one. Speaking of like tough things to transfer, so much of that movie is just like shades of darkness and mysterious bits, and like their house is so dense and dark and everything like that. So I'd love to see a quality. I've got so many DVDs where it's just loaded with macro blocking and stuff like that. Let's see, Pete. Random question. People debate about whether Luke said "Blast It Biggs" or "Blast It Wedge" in 1977 release. I always remember "Blast It Biggs" personally. So is this a Mandela effect? Like somebody went back in time and changed it? I swear I remember "Blast It Biggs," but then again, yeah. Of course, I can't remember the first time I saw it. I just remember being blown away by Carrie Fisher being super cute when I was 4 or 5 years old. I don't remember in '77 exactly what he said. Yeah, that's a good question. So they could have changed it. They could have pulled a Mandela effect and changed it on us. Favorite Lynch is Blue Velvet followed by Firewalk. Bold. Firewalk with me is especially the stuff that's not connected to the show is pretty fast. I like watched it for the first time, and I was like, I kind of want to see more with Chris Isaac and Kiefer Sutherland's characters. Like, these guys are pretty cool. They should get their own spin-off show. And I loved how that connected with the Fat Trout, and Carl and all that stuff I really like season 3. I need to watch that again. I'm already itching to watch season 3 again. I like Dougie. He's so stupid. He's great. And I understand the complaints about season 3, but I was completely enthralled by that. And it didn't matter that they stretched some stuff out too far. It's like, whatever. They stretched stuff out pretty far in the old show too. Maybe not that far, but it seemed like Cooper was never going to find out that Audrey was at One-Eyed Jack's. They stretched stuff. But whatever. I'm cool. I'm cool with the Twin Peaks season 3. I've been picking up Twin Peaks vinyl stuff too lately. I got and they're not that. There's lots of kind of surfing noise and stuff like that. But the kind of die cut release is great on those ones where there's like it's like a slip case over the records, and it's got like kind of like a V shape kind of, or actually multiple V shape kind of motif die cut into the sleeve. Yeah, for such gorgeous presentation, like the pressings themselves aren't quite that up to snuff. And then I've got a picture disc of the soundtrack, the bands from season 3. There's another release I think Rhino did or something like that I don't have of that, and Rhino did the score for 3 too, and I don't have that version. I've got was it Death Waltz or Mondo? I think it was Death Waltz put those out. I can't remember the fancy versions. So I got the fancy versions of The Fire Walk With Me and the season 3 score, and then I need to get season 1 score in I think it's a white one with the die cut, kind of thing. And then I got the Rhino season 2 music one, which is pretty weird because it just says TPS2 and it's got like a music note and just this random kind of design. But yeah, so I picked all those up, and I was actually surprised the picture disc I had sounds pretty good, because I was disappointed. Picture discs don't usually sound that great. I was disappointed in the concept of listening to that one in less than quality sound, because I really loved it. I think that season 3 soundtrack is like a great mixtape on top of being a cool memento of the series, and I wanted to hear that in some decent quality, and I was actually impressed with how good the 2-disc picture disc sounded. So yeah, whatever. Pete's first DVD was Spider-Man. Mine was Austin Powers Snapper case, which sadly I didn't keep. I could have shown that in Spyro Shag Me. But yeah, I picked that up from Media Play before I had a player, because I had done the same thing with LaserDisc. I'd picked up Alien 3, and I think I went back to the Saturday matinee where I bought Alien 3 after I bought my Sony player that same night, and then I bought Project A-ko. So I bought 2 discs on the same night, but I bought Alien 3 before I had the player. So I figured it would force my hand to actually buy a DVD player if I bought a DVD. So I was in Media Play, and I was like really into Austin Powers at the time. And I was like, I don't have it on LaserDisc, let's buy it. So I bought it, and then I got my player like shortly thereafter. But then I went and got a Pioneer player from Circuit City. And I was so psyched because it's very similar to the DVL, LaserDisc combo players. It has the blue light on the front. I thought it was just the coolest looking thing ever, but it had such horrible freaking lip sync. And I was just watching things on it, and I was like, it's just so much lip flap. And then I heard people talking about there was like firmware upgrades and things like that. So I just dropped it back at Circuit City the next day, and I was like so bummed because I'm like, Pioneer, man, they're Pioneer. And then I realized that like they weren't quite crushing it in DVD as they had been in LaserDisc. So I went like a day or two later to Bernie's and got a Panasonic A120U, and that thing was like so solid. It played everything. No problems, no layer change hang-ups, no problems with branching stream, like the Abyss with multiple cuts with seamless branching. No problems with that. No lip sync problems. It was just a solid ass player. So that weekend I was picking up a couple DVDs too, so I grabbed Blade Runner Director's Cut, Snapper case. I got Jacob's Ladder from Artisan. Fifth Element, pre-Superbit, obviously, so early Fifth Element release. Crap, what were the other ones I got that weekend? Because I swear I got like 5 of the suckers. Blade New Line Cinema, Platinum Series. Those guys like Blade. And was there anything else? I'm trying to think. I swear there was probably another one. And I'm trying to think if there was another one. Oh, Dark City I got, and Gattaca. I got Gattaca, and Toy Story 2 was not Toy Story 2. Bugs Life was shortly thereafter. I think that was pretty early. That was one of my early ones too. Because I remember watching Bugs Life and being blown away that the colors didn't have any chroma noise. I was just like, what the hell? It's just rock solid colors. And then the gates were open. I was in Media Play and Suncoast all the time, and Anchor Bay started dropping stuff like Tenebrae I picked up, and like I used to love the horror section at Media Play, just sick amounts of like Italian stuff, and I bought Tombs of the Blind Dead and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh man, I would have had to have dropped like some serious coin to get the Roan disc, LaserDiscs of these things. So I was having a great time with DVD. When it first came out, they were like about $25 a pop when I was buying them from like Circuit City and stuff like that. So, and then stuff like Tenebrae was more like $30. So they were a little pricey. But then again, I was used to buying LaserDiscs, so $30 was an average kind of price for an LD. So it didn't seem too big of a deal. Bram Stoker's Dracula I got pretty early on. But that first weekend I remember watching Dark City, Blade, Gattaca, good times. Favorite version of Apocalypse Now on LD, I probably don't have yet because I don't have the AC3 reissue, so that possibly could be it. But as of now, just the letterboxed one that's in Dolby Surround, that one, that kind of like, that was my Apocalypse Now. I had watched it on TV and VHS and everything like that, but when I got that LaserDisc, that brought it up to another level for me. So I am excited to get that AC3. Oh, Sean's in the house. What's up, my friend? Pete was going to kill you, but apparently it got held because of killing Sean is a bad thing. Muad'Dib. Let's see where I can catch up. You guys are down there. First DVD was Chicken Run. I had that DVD. I got that from Circuit City. Jonathan and Blade Runner, Sixth Sense, and Fifth Element. Yeah, Sixth Sense, I remember picking that up right away, too. Let's see what else is going on. Yes, Cowboy Bebop. I bought all those from Suncoast individually. Yep, exact same thing. So worth it. Those were like good investments to just watch with friends too, because I had buddies that would come over like Sunday night even. They'd be like, let's watch Cowboy Bebop, let's do this, man. So by the time they were on Adult Swim, we'd seen this like over and over and over again. Yeah, those were definitely worth it. I also overpaid for all of the Avengers Emma Peel episodes, because before they came out with like the mega set, like they were all available in like 2 DVD like kind of packs, but have like a little little sleeve to put 2 DVDs in, and there was like maybe 8 of those or something to get all the Emma Peel episodes. And they was a little pricey. I think I got most of those from Media Play. Scott saying, scrolling through LDs on eBay, I hate that people put DVDs in the LD section because they're ignored. Yeah, and when people apparently buy LDs and think they're DVDs and send them back to sellers, I always feel bad for the sellers that they have to like go through all these measures to put like, this is not a DVD, like come on, like somebody really thinks that's a DVD, huh? So haven't seen the Final Cut version of Apocalypse Now. Yeah, I gotta watch that with my dad at some point too. It's pretty cool. I got the 4K. I love that 4K box. It's ridiculous, and the price was amazing. Yeah. So yeah, it's not too shabby. I kind of like them all, but theatrical is still my go-to. That's always my favorite. But yeah, I'd probably go like theatrical Final Cut redo probably if I had to, and then like the bootleg version that I never saw. Yeah, I don't know where that fits, but only snapper I have left is Exorcist. Nice. Yeah, I still got my Exorcist. I don't have the version you've never seen one, but I've got that on Blu-ray. That was pretty cheap actually at Big Lots. That was like one of the ones I got for like a couple bucks there. Let's see what's going on. Stuff the plantation scenes. Yeah, they had length. That's what they had. American History X. I used to have that. I used to have a snapper of that, I'm pretty sure too. Yeah. Just found Japanese LaserDisc of Penthouse's Tanya Harding wedding night at a thrift store for $5. Wow, that's quite the thrift find. All right, so it's the Biggs versus Wedges and the Mandela effect. It's different prints. All right, mono prints versus stereo prints. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, I still have memories of seeing different things from seeing Star Wars theatrically multiple times, like effects wise, I guess where I saw different things. Like some of the tail lights on the X-wings. I seem to remember them moving around a lot more at one point than later. So yeah, I mean, but of course I was a kid. Focus Features DVD of Lost Highway. Yeah, I've got. I'm trying to think of how many I got. I'm pretty sure I've got that. I've got Estrada Perdida Portuguese DVD, which looks good but has kind of mediocre 5.1. Then I've got the German DVD, which has pretty decent picture and really good sound of 5.1, but doesn't match up. So you have to like adjust the delay. And even when I adjust the delay, it never sounds quite like matched up just right. I don't know what the hell is the problem with that DVD. But yeah, the Focus one was kind of like the best way to do it. And then I had the Japanese import, which I think is just basically the LaserDisc transfer dumped onto the DVD. And that one had a lot of, or maybe it was just because I was watching on my Apex player, my multi-region, hacked DVD player. That thing really wasn't really good in dark scenes. I would macro block like a biatch. But I remember that Japanese disc, having some compression issues. I should check it out again. Then of course I used to rock the VHS tape for the longest time. I think I bought it from a VHS store, that rental store that was getting rid of. I used to do that all the time. Like a couple times a year they would have a big sale and get rid of all their stock. Now that nobody needed to rent the hot new titles, they would be suddenly faced with having 20 of these damn things, and they needed to get rid of them. So I'd pick them up for it. Some of my favorite times. There used to be one in a supermarket plaza down the street from me, and like June or July, something like that, they would have like these outdoor kind of pavilion sales, and they'd have tents out and everything, and all the kind of stores in there would just have whatever they wanted to get rid of cheap, and the video store would just have videotapes for next to nothing. I'd be like, oh, the Big Blue, I don't want that, and all this, and it was just so much fun. I used to love just picking those up. It was just a great feeling going home with my haul, and even though I was into LaserDisc and DVD at the time, just having those stack of tapes, it was just being fun. It's fun being able to have access to so much cool stuff. But yeah, so I rocked that old rental copy of Lost Highway for the longest time, and then Vincent Onorati came through with a rot-free copy of the LaserDisc, which it's down there somewhere-ish. But yeah, freaking love that movie. Really good stuff. Scott's first DVD was T2. Yeah, my first T2 was the one that came with the metal, fold around slip, with the thick ass booklet and everything like that. I bought that from, if it wasn't BJ's, it was like one of those like kind of BJ's knockoffs, like Pace Warehouse or something like that. I'm trying to remember if that was it. Might have been. But yeah, they had some DVDs, and I said, oh, they got the freaking Artisan one with the nice wraparound steel thing. I never got the Extreme Edition one that they put out later, but I still have the original, one with the steel case there. Yeah, Richard Pryor in Lost Highway is like one of my favorite bits, because there's this great bit where it's just this bit of nonsense where he's on the phone with some guy, and he's talking about like prices for his shop, because he's runs this auto body shop and repair shop, and what's his face there, the kid Balthazar Getty is working for him, and he comes into the office, and Richard Pryor's on the phone with the dude, and he's like, I think he's got like, I've got 9 guys here. If you can get half that price from like 7 of them, I'll let you talk to the other 2. I love that bit. It was so weird seeing Richard Pryor in that movie, because it's like nobody was expecting him to be in anything at that time. And of course, the ultimate bit is Robert Loggia and the driver's manual. It's freaking amazing. Love that whole scene. But yeah, Richard Pryor, he's in a few scenes, and it's only in the kind of latter portion of the movie. So the more kind of Balthazar Getty section of the film. Then Henry Rollins is in there briefly, and the Robert Blake stuff is amazing. And everybody in was it Michael Massey from The Crow was in there too. Good flick. New Line killed it with the Platinum Series DVD. Yeah, man, New Line was... Remember when New Line was, like, on fire? It's funny, I was just watching when I got my 7.1 amp. I was checking out some stuff in 6.1 and 7.1, and I was firing up my old, super editions of the extended Lord of the Rings. Threw on some Fellowship of the Ring. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, man, I love those New Line, even though they would use snappers all the time. And they would have, like, glossy kind of snappers too, which is pretty cool. So they would, like, stand up to my fingers a little bit better. But yeah, freaking Austin Powers flicks, the Blade one, and I had a bunch. I used to love all their stuff. Sony had his Sony DVD player, was a tank at the first, $2.99. Nothing fancy. Nice. Yeah, Robert Blake is in Lost Highway, and killer score. Lots of good stuff in there. Some Rammstein in there, Nine Inch Nails, Smashing Pumpkins, Angelo Badalamenti stuff, and some Marilyn Manson. Use my PC for DVD. It's funny because I was talking about the Snapper case too. It's like I never had the PC DVD experience. I was just rocking DVD players separately, so I never experienced the DVD-ROM stuff. And then by the time I did have DVD drives in my PCs, like, I never thought to go back and pop in all those old DVDs and see if I could experience the special features. So, Lost in Space. I still need that on LaserDisc. I don't have that sucker. Let's see. Yeah, horror in widescreen on DVD. What? Oh, I was so psyched. So much good stuff. DivX, man. Criterion DVD Armageddon. Yeah, I should have bought that. I didn't really like that movie, but I know that, I should have bought that DVD anyways. Are there any movie podcasts I like? I'm trying to think if I actually listen to any. So the podcasts I usually listen to are kind of comedy-related stuff. I swear there was some stuff I listened to. I haven't even really checked out any of the James Bond podcasts, and figured that stuff would be right up my alley. I've got a friend that has a podcast called The Final Cut, Chris Scalzo. So I'll watch his podcast every once in a while. Trying to think of anything else, but I'll check out the Wrong Reel one for sure. Podcasts in general, it's funny because I want to start getting involved in doing some more because I miss doing LaserDisc Tech, and they tire me out. Just the nonstop presence of them. So what happens with me with podcasts is it's not option paralysis, but it's overload. It's too much content. So I actually prefer, as stupid as it sounds, my media to have kind of bursts and lulls, and I like having seasons and things like that, and a little bit of a break. And I tend to notice when people when they have podcasts, it's either once or twice a week. It's just that the output is just stunning. It's just there's so much stuff. So I tend to get really excited about something up front, and then I just get burnt out on too much of it. Even if I love it, I don't necessarily need it once or twice a week. Slow down. Let me love your stuff. So it's too much. And then what happens is then I've got a backlog of things, and then again, my brain just kind of lets it all go. And once I'm not keeping up with it on a weekly basis, I'm just well, why bother now? So podcasts are they're generally, I don't want to get involved in too many other new ones because they're so damn, unless it's something where I can pick and choose. Back when the Nerdist stuff before, that all kind of fell apart. It'd be depending who the guest was, I'd drop that, or of course Rogan, depending on who the guest is, that sort of thing. But if it's a podcast where I really want to keep following it, most of them they just put out just too damn much content, and then I get overloaded, and then I just kind of stop caring. So that's kind of where I'm at, unfortunately. So I'm looking forward to a podcast eventually in the future that will take freaking breaks for a month or something here and there. Relax, but deep cover freaking snapper. I totally regret selling my deep cover snapper. That was one of the ones I was thinking about that was going to be cool to show in the snapper video. And I'm damn, I got rid of it. Clerks and Deep Blue Sea, nice. Monsters Inc. Yeah, DVD. I got that on DVD too. What else did I get around the same time on Monsters Inc.? I think Gangs of New York dropped around the same time. I remember playing that a lot. Question for you all. First deleted scene you ever saw? I remember seeing the Dallas Cocoon scene from Alien on TV and blew my mind. Yeah, nice seeing the long cut of Goonies. It's a damn hard question, because I'm thinking about, like, yeah, the first, because I did see the T2 stuff, and of course Aliens, but that was like early 90s. I swear I must have seen like a TV version of something with an extended scene before that. But yeah, I'm trying to think. The first thing I saw that was like a deleted scene or a scene reinstated into a movie that was different. And technically I saw the special edition of Close Encounters, before seeing the proper theatrical version. So that would almost count. I saw some like kind of set footage from things, but yeah, it's a damn good question. I think like one of the first like things where it really stuck out with me though was either Aliens or Terminator 2, but I'll have to kind of simmer on that. The Wrong Reel tagline is Epic Podcast for Hardcore Cinephiles, where we tackle everything from Jean-Luc Godard to Jean-Luc Picard. Nice. Let's see, what's some that's Goonies for some people. Revenge of the Sith deleted features. Yeah, the cocoon scene in Alien is interesting. I remember being amazed seeing it for the first time, but like how it fits into everything and how it kind of like works into the mythology of it. Like I'm kind of cooler just kind of leaving it to the curb. But I remember seeing it for the first time. I remember hearing about it and then seeing it on the LaserDiscs box set for the first time and being just kind of like, whoa, extra stuff, See, Richard Pryor is in Lost Highway. Yeah, I can't think of anything he was in after that. Yeah, for sure. Kino Lorber Blu-ray of Lost Highway that came out last year. Yeah, I haven't checked that out yet. I'm still hoping like someday Criterion will come out with one, but just because they got so much other good Lynch stuff. Let's see. Speaking of Henry Rollins, what's your favorite version of him yelling at you? Black Flag, Rollins Band, or spoken word? Probably Black Flag. Though I was just listening to some Rollins Band. Was it Come In and Burn? Is like actually one of his better ones. Like some of the other ones are kind of hit or miss. I've got like End of Silence and Wait is actually pretty damn good. But I always forget about how good Come In and Burn is. Like so many just great like freaking driving tracks on that thing. I do enjoy some spoken word Rollins too, for sure. I was just talking to a friend, Seth from Lasers Forever is in Russia right now, and he was talking about some of the food he was eating, and I was flashing back to the Rollins spoken word about how Rollins Band was touring in Russia, and they kept getting the food they were there for like a week or two, and like the food that was being delivered was like really kind of funky and like almost like kind of on the edge of spoiling, and they were all freaked out by it, and he's just like, oh god, and it was like killing his system, and he's like, I gotta power through this, and he kept wondering why the people that were like kind of that lived there that were feeding them weren't eating the same food. And then at the end of like the week, he was talking to one of the guys that was preparing everything, and he's like, oh no, your tour manager said that you requested traditional old school cuisine. He's like, we don't eat this, like, and he's like, what? He's like, yeah, like you have other food available? Like, yeah, you can have hamburgers, cheeseburgers, whatever you want. And he's like, the last night they were there, he was just crushing it like American style food, and they're like, yeah, we don't eat this stuff. Your tour manager suggested this, and he's like, why? He said he wanted like the traditional experience. Yeah. And I'd like to show too that he had on IFC. I've actually got one of the DVD collections of that. That was a cool show. Anyways, yeah, it has already been 2 hours, huh? Damn, I should probably start wrapping up soon. But it has been a little bit. 4K Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, that'd be a fun one to replace. Superman 2, the extended cut. Yeah, see, I still haven't seen that. Not the Donner cut. Yeah, I still haven't seen. Yeah, actually, there was Superman stuff that was a little bit longer on TV, and I definitely saw that for the first film. Don't remind. It's too late. I already know. Oh, Scott's heading out. Sorry if you left already. Yeah, I ran out of water, so yeah, I'm getting raspier as the night goes on, and of course, fresh water's in another room, and I don't want to stop the thing, so I'll just keep going and sound a little raspier, and then shut off the night. Dance with the Wolves is shown in the long version on TV. Yeah, I think I rented that on LaserDisc. Theatrical, probably the first time I saw that. Let's see. Yeah, Sarah Connor dream scenes in T2. You remember? Because I remember maybe Showtime or someone. It was before the special edition of T2 came out. There was a little like after the movie, stick around, or maybe it was like even like before the movie. But either way, it was like a little piece of showing you some stuff that was going to be in the special edition, and it showed the taking chip out and changing it to the learning and adapting mode. So I remember watching that. I swear that was Showtime showing that. So I saw that scene before I even saw like the T2 special edition on LaserDisc. I think he even taped it at the time. The Prophecy on Blu-ray. I don't. God's Army and Prophecy. God's Army I have on VHS still. And there is a PAL LaserDisc. Now that I have a PAL player, I'm actually really excited to get a copy of God's Army on LaserDisc. It's not too much different. It starts off with a kind of creepy bit with the young version of Thomas, like sitting on a swing, and the devil's talking to him. You just kind of hear the voice, talking to him. It's a real creepy intro. I liked it a lot. And then it kind of like cuts to the imagery of the angels and everything like that, and the titles. It doesn't have as much effects stuff. I mean, there is some effects in it, but it's a little bit more dialed down. So yeah, some of the bigger kind of stuff with the showing angelic moments and anything kind of over the top as effects wise wasn't in the original. And I swear there was a few other changes. But yeah, I do have the Prophecy on LD, but I don't have it on Blu-ray. But I'd love to get God's Army on Blu-ray. That would be amazing. But I'll settle for the LaserDisc. I don't even know where I got my VHS copy from Video Searcher Miami, so I'm guessing they just took a European VHS, like a PAL version, and transferred it over and turned it into NTSC because it didn't really look that good. But at the time, it wasn't even out in theaters here in the States when I got it, so it didn't matter. I'm like, freaking Gregory White in, like, this is cool, man, and the cast was killer. So yeah, God's Army, good stuff. I'm trying to think of what else is different. It's mostly smaller bits, but yeah, freaking love that movie. Let's see what else we got going on here. Mr. Tightwad watched Laser Mission on Laser. I have that on DVD, but I don't have it on LaserDisc because it being a laser mission, it's a good movie to have on LaserDisc. Yeah, Brandon Lee. I love Legacy of Rage. That's great. Rapid Fire. Yeah, I love all the Brandon Lee stuff. But yeah, Laser Mission is like next level cheese, for sure. Heard about a deleted cocoon scene in a film magazine. Like, oh, the deleted cocoon scene. I think we were talking about the movie Cocoon. But yeah, Laser Mission on LaserDisc. That's you get like a merit badge for that. Horror channels that I like YouTube wise. On TV, of course, I got Shudder, which I pay for. But some of the guys like I used to watch don't really do anything anymore. There was a guy, Halloween Man, who he was on LDF for a while too, and he just like collected Halloween merchandise. I used to like watching his channel. I don't think I see much from him anymore. But Christian Hannah Horror is like kind of the guy I watch a lot. Let's see. This guy, Surround Sound Freak, collects a lot of horror stuff. I tend to watch his stuff. And then a lot of other people that like horror. But yeah, like don't like the channel devoted to horror that I probably watch the most is my buddy Christian. He's just got a killer collection, and but if anybody else is covering horror, I'll tend to Zero and Isaac or any of those guys, so I'll tend to check them out. Let's Let's see. I saw the alternate ending of Fatal Attraction one time on TV. Nice. Great Escape got. Oh, I'd be down for some Great Escape on Blu-ray. The last time I watched that was it was a pretty nice DVD. I think it was a 2-disc DVD. I remember I was working third shift. I used to love working third shift because I would keep my schedule on the weekends. So that meant all night Saturday night, all night Sunday night. I just spent watching movies because everyone else I knew was sleeping. So it was just cool, man. I was again picking up DVDs left and right at Circuit City and Media Play, and just watching them all. And I remember watching that Great Escape, pretty late at night, and just really getting into it and watching all the special features and everything. God's Army, it got shelved for quite some time. Because I picked it up because I saw Fangoria covered it. And I swear it was around the same time they were covering In the Mouth of Madness coming up. And God's Army was the cover feature, and it had the kind of seraphim, kind of creepy with the barbs over the eyes and everything. And I remember reading that piece, and I'm like, this looks sick, and then it just never happened. So I was flipping through the little book. I wish I still had it. The video Searcher Miami put out, and I saw God's Army in there. And I'm like, that's the freaking movie that never came out. I'm like, dude, I'm so ordering that. And just when I got it in, and I'm showing it to all my buddies, and we're watching it all the time, that's when they started promoting The Prophecy, and I'm like, oh snap, it's coming out. So then it was because back in the day, it was next level cool having the director's cut Army of Darkness and all those things, and just have everybody over, and having the Pulp Fiction bootlegs, back when it was still in theaters, and Train Spotting, because that came out from a PAL transfer from British tape, but you could watch it over here while it was still in the theaters. And that was cool. Come on over, man, we're gonna watch God's Army. And then so I got a lot of people into that movie, and then they saw it in the theater anyways too when The Prophecy came out. A friend of mine at the LaserDiscs Valiant told about the scene of the sentry guns. I was like, I swear there was some TV versions of Aliens that had some of that stuff in it too. And I remember being like, oh, that's cool that they had those on it was Network or something like that. But I remember watching it when I was over at a friend's house. I was like, yeah. But I remember I saw all that stuff for the first time on LaserDisc. Let's see. Arrow Jodorowsky said, it looks like a beast. I see what he did there. I'm down for that. I haven't seen Gutterballs. 2008 Bowling Alley Canadian killer movie. Sounds good, man. Sign me up. I'll check it out. Prophecy does seem older than 95. Yeah, it sat around for a little bit. So I'm trying to think of when that first Fangoria. I remember too, it was cool because they were talking about filming it in parts of it. They were using an old haunted hospital out, must have been California, but out in the middle of nowhere. And I remember, I forgot who they were interviewing. They were talking about working with Christopher Walken, and how he was on a different kind of plane than everybody else. And I remember everyone was terrified of working in this haunted hospital, and nobody had the balls to go into the different wings and the floors alone. And they said, except for Christopher Walken, they said he just went up to a second or third floor, and then just by himself disappeared for a while, and then he just came out with just this stone look on his face. And I forgot who it was they were interviewing. He was just he could have saw every demon in hell coming at him down the hall, and just been totally unfazed, nothing could shake that dude. So it was cool. I think I still have that magazine. I should dig that out. I've never seen Holy Mountain on the big screen. That would definitely be one to do it. One of the art houses in my local area just celebrated their 50th anniversary. And I'm trying to remember if they've ever shown Holy Mountain, because that would be totally right up their alley. I'm surprised if they hadn't, but I probably just missed it. But I didn't get to go to their 50th anniversary party. I should have, because it's a great theater. But if you're ever in Hartford, Connecticut, go to Cine Studio. Pete's been watching Army of Darkness a lot. Yeah, such extreme entertainment. Yeah, it's funny how Danny Elfman did the March of the Dead score. I've got the soundtrack CD. Love that thing. 2 is my favorite of all 3, but yeah, Army of Darkness is fantastic, and just having that director's cut being the kind of Great White Buffalo for me for the longest time. Yeah, that's like near and dear to me. I was so looking forward to having that. I'm so psyched that I have that freaking bootleg LaserDisc now. Freaking love that thing. Paramount Recycle's same anniversary release of Friday the 13th coming up. Yeah, no King Kong 76. Yeah, bummer. I haven't seen that in a while, too. I used to have the poster, man. Kong, like, straddling the World Trade Center towers. Gripping that at freaking jetliner. That was on my wall for the longest time growing up. Like, just killer stuff. Jonathan watched Holy Man, I was super hungry. Got a bunch of snacks. Not a good movie for stuffing your face. Yeah, that or Silo, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'd be down for some Kong 76. I haven't seen that in a while. Let's see. Killer wears a bowling bag for a mask. It's very uncomfortable now. Oh, wow, yeah. F-bomb is dropped more than any movie in movie history. Kills are brutal. I gotta check that out. Nice. Oh, so yeah, Kong 76 is overseas. I haven't, of course, gotten my, my region-free Blu-ray on yet, and partially because that, I didn't want to give myself the need to start importing discs, because I see all you guys with your badass German steel books and all that stuff, and I'm like, damn, if I open those floodgates, I'll be wanting to get all that stuff. So I'm happy that I don't like all those like age markings that mar up the artwork, because like I want to kind of keep that to my chest, like be like, yeah, I hate those things, because then they'll stop me from importing all these badass releases that are coming out overseas. It's stupid, but it's a means to an end. But there's so much cool stuff out there. I've been thinking about going back down to the archive sometime soon, just because that place, yeah, that's a wallet killer. You just go in there and you're just completely poor, even before you buy anything. It's just like your eyes just beam out and see all these Blu-rays and 4Ks and LaserDiscs and LPs and DVDs and whatnot. Oh. Yeah, so it's like I almost don't want to go down there, but I do every time I go down there. So I got to go back down and get some more Vinegar Syndrome stuff and grab some more titles. But I also eat snacks watching the Beyond. Wow. Man, I need to get a nicer copy of Beyond. I think the highest res I've got is the old Anchor Bay release. I didn't get, that was one of the ones they dropped in a tin, like collector's tin too. And I never did pick that up. I just got the standalone DVD. But that was one of the best times too. That was that same period where I was working third shift and just watching tons of movies in my spare time, and seeing the Beyond for the first time, and it's just like, what is this? Like, did I drink some NyQuil or something? Like, what is going on? Man. Yeah. What else we got going on here? Kong sporting the beard and the new King Kong vs. Godzilla film. Nice. Blood Junkie, low budget 80s horror movie I saw last night. I don't think I saw that. I'll have to look into that. It is amazing. Oh, the German digibooks. Yeah, you gotta get the steelbooks and the digibooks. It is amazing the amount of like under the radar stuff that's coming out. Yeah, between Vinegar Syndrome, restoring these things. It's so cool that they did Spookies. That's awesome. I'm glad I can talk about that finally, because I was sworn to secrecy on Spookies for a long time. They were working on that, and like a lot of the stuff they work on, like it's kind of touch and go whether or not like it's actually going to happen and they're going to be able to put out the Blu-rays. And they were trying to source the LaserDisc audio for that. So I actually found a LaserDisc of Spookies and was like a kind of proxy buyer for the Vinegar Syndrome guys, and got that, and then had to capture the audio. So I still have the PCM tracks of the LaserDisc audio sitting on the drive somewhere, so I could just listen to the fart monsters from Spookies. They ended up getting like a better source audio than I thought they were going to have. I think they were going to use the LaserDisc audio to kind of patch up some bits that were in rough shape, but it's so cool that it happened, and they had like a big like event at the store with like lots of the people involved in the film, and like it was cool, man. So, but it was awesome being, even just tangentially connected to the the Spookies Blu-ray release, and just waiting for the announcement to come out that it was finally going to get dropped, and then they did, and I could finally talk about it. Because funny, I even had to go down and drop off the LaserDisc, because I was going to give them the LaserDisc that I'd picked up, and like I was like supposed to like be completely on the hush hush. I could like talk about it in the public with the people in the store listening, and just kind of shove it over the counter very quietly. It was fun. It was lots of subterfuge. I've never been a Blu-ray ninja like this before. Blu-ray remastered ninja. So hope to get involved in more weird Vinegar Syndrome shenanigans in the future. I still want to do some LaserDisc screenings at the archive at some point. I talked about it with the guys, but we haven't gotten it going. But it'd be fun, just because they've got so much room there. And they do like stuff where they have like a VHS festival a couple times a year. It'd be fun to do some laser screenings there for sure. Yeah, Elephant Man 4K box. I'm so down for that. I'm in. Let's see, go over a Scream or Arrow release of Dead Alive. Yeah, I'd be down. Trying to think of how did I react when I saw the Spider Scene and the Beyond. Yeah, I don't. Probably not as strongly as when I saw the ice cream truck scene in the Assault on Precinct 13 the first time, but yeah, my mind was probably already melted at that point. LaserDisc kind of 4K OLED. Any advice? Yeah, it's tough. I was saying before. I've seen some people that have had pretty good plug and play success, and some people that don't. So I mean, it depends on how far down the processor hole, the rabbit hole you want to go. Actually, if you want to go as far as getting into Lumigens and stuff like that, I'd probably just recommend hooking that up to a projector. But yeah, I mean, there's a couple of processor options out there you can do. You can get an older DVDO or something like that. And some of these newer OLEDs don't have the component inputs with the green that doubles as a yellow composite jack. So if you have one of those, you need something to kind of pump in the LaserDisc signal. But it's tough. There's no like kind of like one killer processor app, that's not Crystalio 2 or Lumigen 2144 or something like that. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that if you're just gonna be hooking up to a 4K flat screen. It's tough. Yeah, I mean DVDO duos are pretty good if you can find them. Like the DVDOs are starting to dry up. They used to be everywhere back in the day. Those are starting to dry up now too. So you could still do the below that route of getting an old DVD recorder, pumping it out like an old Panasonic DMR ES25, or I've got a DMR E20. It does the job, but there's tons of processors. Frujas, you can get some of the post NRS ones, like they have the DVD players built into them. I've seen some people have some pretty good results with that, but yeah, it's tough. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any others I'm missing. But yeah, or you can do a plug and play mixtures of different ones. Yeah, get an Extron YCS 100 maybe. Use that for the comb filter. I don't know. You got some options, but the simplest one is probably just grab a DVD recorder that can output component or HDMI and kind of give that a shot. But yeah, I don't know. I've heard some people that have had some great looking pictures on 4K OLED, so I think it probably is model dependent. But let's see what else we got going on here. Pick it up, Scott. I haven't checked that out yet. I got to though. Can you imagine if somebody showed the Beyond in a school? Everybody screams and runs. I just bunch of potato chips. Yeah, back in the day, we would have in middle school. We had screenings in elementary school too, but particularly we had a big auditorium in middle school, and we would rent 16 millimeter prints of movies and at least once a year have like movie day. And we had like Oddball from Outer Space. I remember I was pissed because it was supposed to be The Black Hole, and they switched out the movies. Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court, I think, was one. Oliver we saw one year. But yeah, The Beyond should have been one of those middle school movies. But yeah, I'm definitely down for some music documentary stuff. I got to check that out. I swear I was watching some other music documentary stuff recently too. So what about a converted HDMI to Xbox One? Yeah, I've heard some people using the Xbox, but not to any kind of like major satisfying, other than kind of just as a pass through. So it's possible. Most of the converters, suck ass. Like a lot of the, there's the stuff that's made for games, and FrameMeister, the XRB, and the what's the other one everybody's talking about now? It's not the FrameMeister. Damn, there's another one that's like game centric, but the game centric converters generally don't work that well with LD. They'll do Retro Tank. That's it. Yeah. They're gaming converters. So then there's all the AV to HDMI converters. They all pretty much suck ass, and they stretch the signal out sometimes, and then you can't alter it. So that it's tough because like that whole area of converters is usually just garbageware. And then the gaming ones that are popular for gaming are okay for LD. So it's a tough call. But I don't know. There's not like one kind of killer solution that isn't ridiculously expensive. Favorite Fulci? Yeah, probably The Beyond for myself as well. Though Zombie 2 is up there as well. And House by the Cemetery is cool, but Bob is really annoying. City of the Living Dead's pretty badass. But yeah, The Beyond's up there. I do play electric guitar. Started in early 80s. I got a Hondo Strat copy for my birthday in, maybe I was turning 12 or something like that back in the day. And the goal was to start a punk band with my friend. We had the name, we were called Spent Chemicals. And we had album titles and everything all worked out. I got some of them still in this closet in here. And had it all worked out. We were going to join a band, and then we just didn't have a band. So I do have a song I wrote called Christmas Death. Someday I should release that on YouTube because it's pretty classic. No drums, just me on guitar. And so then my friend, he just totally joined a cover band and blew me away. Like he picked up bass, and my job was to become a killer guitarist, and I was working on it, and then he already joined a band and played bass even before he knew how to play. So I'm like, screw you, buddy. And so then I just kind of kept taking lessons over the years and joined a band with a bunch of other guys in high school. Played CBGBs. That was pretty cool. Didn't know what the hell we were doing. Like a thrash metal band at that point, and we just didn't have any business sense or any idea, no managing sense. So that kind of fell apart. I joined a kind of jam-ish, kind of clutch kind of type band in the 90s just for shits and giggles, and did a lot of acoustic coffee house kind of stuff, playing like Devlin's tunes and Sarah McLachlan and Lisa Loeb and Cowboy Junkies and stuff like that. And then kind of tapped out for a little bit, and then started playing hard rock and metal again with a bunch of guys I did the Census with 10 years ago, and then joined Sub of the Drama after that. But yeah, so I've been playing guitar for decades. I've got a couple Ibanez RG 550s right now. I've still got that old Hondo Strat kicking around, and I had a Kramer. I remember those were like a big deal because Eddie Van Halen played Kramers for a minute. But I sold that, and I had a Gretsch that I got rid of. I got a couple of acoustics at the moment too. I've got a nylon string classical, and I've got a Yamaha acoustic, and yeah, what else do I got for electric guitar? Probably just the two, the Hondo Strat knockoff and those two RG550 Ibanez, which I love. I got a Road Flare red one. That's always gonna be my favorite guitar. I freaking love that thing. I guess 4K77 is probably the closest example, saving to 35mm print. Yeah, I'm down. I love that there's guys that are doing renegade print screenings out, and kind of like a flash mob thing. I'm gonna show Star Wars tonight. I'd love to have been an attendee of one of those things, because it's been quite some time since I've seen unaltered Star Wars 35mm print. I never did see a 70mm print, even though they did play in my area. But yeah, man. Yeah, Blue Underground has entered the 4K. I know I've been waiting for the kind of the boutiques. Everyone's been doing 4K scans, but I've been waiting for them to start kind of putting out some 4K UHD material. So definitely excited to get some zombie action. Jonathan, was your best theater experience was seeing 2001 35mm? Yeah, I did see. I've seen a digital, theatrical presentation, and I saw 2001 in 70mm, but it was an old pinked print. It was before like the Jonathan Nolan, remaster stuff was going down. It was in 2001 actually, and the color sucked ass. It was going pink. It was big, and the detail was amazing and spectacular. The sound was fantastic, but it was kind of disappointing color wise, unfortunately. But yep, Zombie 4K Ultra, definitely psyched for that. Too cool. I would just watch the film A Wonderful Mono. Man, seeing that shark zombie scene. I mean, it's kind of old hat now, but seeing that for the first time, I was just like, this is pretty much the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah, it's like, how do you not love Italian horror? It's like, this is a shark and a zombie. It's a real shark. It's a real dude in zombie outfit. Just do it for real. It was just the same buzz you get from HK Cinema with the crazy stuff those guys were doing. But it's just like, I love this stuff. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't get any better than this. You see LD getting a new style player that also plays 4K Blu-rays? Yep. Not in the near future, but I mean, dudes are making stuff. It's actually happening now, finally. Ethan Gallo from Massachusetts is printing. He's working on M holder replacement pieces now for the motor holders that fail out of those things, and he's been doing belt replacements and stuff. So this kind of groundswell has started for replacement parts, but maybe as like kind of like customized like Frankenstein players, like nobody's got access to the laser optics and all that stuff. Pioneer even stopped making the LaserDisc players just because they couldn't source the parts. So it would probably have to be some sort of like a boutique, kind of collector's, thing. I mean, the fact that they made them once and they were able to make DVL players that shoehorned everything together, like in a mass production scale, no, but yeah, I'm surprised more people don't do weird, interesting, LaserDisc projects already. Like Maxine Davlin from Hollywood LaserDisc did, like a custom paint job with like kind of pastels and stuff like that. And I remember there was a cool guy that on LDF that would have like old like horror movie stickers and stuff on his player. And I was surprised more people didn't do like a steampunk LD player, or do like custom buttons, or custom, just all sorts of custom. As players. So I'm expecting more of that eventually at some point. Maybe a custom front plate, and who knows. But yeah, if you could make a DVL player, you could take a DVD player and a LaserDisc player and combine them together. It's insane, the engineering of those things. It's like the LaserDisc player optics are sitting in the back, and then the DVD ones are like off to the side, and then they just kind of have to do a swapperoo, and then the DVD one comes up front. Then you go back to LD, and the DVD goes back to the side, and the LD comes in, and then the LD one has to get spun around in the unit on the back and go do the top rail for side B. It's crazy that they were able to make that work. So if they could do all that stuff, then theoretically, and if someone can take an old Atari, it's 2600 and turn it into a Blu-ray player and like make magazine, there's no reason you couldn't Frankenstein something together. But yeah, it would probably have to be some sort of custom thing. So, yeah, Criterion, man. I'm hoping someday them, Arrow, and Shout. I've always figured that they would be the kind of first to move into 4K UHDs. So yeah, Blue Underground's doing it, but I always expected Criterion would be like the kind of first out of the gate, but I think we're probably on the cusp of that happening. So sooner or later. So yeah, Fulci needs to be up there with Kubrick. Yep. So yeah, we should have like a festival of like Kubrick films paired with Fulci films. One LD. I can get my muse on at some point. In fact, somebody was just selling a really good one. It might have been Stephen Cascella. I was selling a really good one. Or no, it was Henry Case from LDF from Japan. But I think somebody bought it already, which is a bummer. Yeah, 4K80, because 4K83 already happened, right? So now we got to wait for 4K80. It's too bad. So when that comes out, I'll watch all three of them. Yeah, awesome. There were so many HD copies of the original Star Wars films. Because I remember back when, I used to read the digital bits all the time. I remember that being a thing, because Bill Hunt and the other guys involved in that would kind of aggressively, so there's nothing that he could use to strike such a print. The negatives had been destroyed in the act of creating the special editions. And I just remember Bill Hunt and going, yeah, that's bogus. You can totally make a print of Star Wars. I've got guys I know I can get on the phone that have awesome prints. We can make this happen. So I think it's cool that over the years, as Lucasfilms like kind of stuck to their story, that the fans had to kind of do it themselves. So DIY, man. You got the prints, scan the suckers. So it's cool. I like there's a whole weird kind of like side industry of guys making scans of, there's that scan of Jurassic Park without the mats, except for the hard matted special effects and stuff like that. There's all sorts of scans out there. Some good James Bond scans. It still needs a little bit of work. It needs like a professional to do, the telecine work. The guys back in the day, had to, kind of correct for some things when they scan these 35mm prints. So there's still some work to be done into presenting it correctly on video. But it's cool that there's people out there doing it and that have the skills. So, but the Scanners 2 and 3 double feature, Monkey Shines and The Curse, man, I was so pissed. I was like buying bigger merchandise during those Scream Factory sales because that Carpenter, obviously I had some of the Carpenter stuff, but like Body Bags was like $12. There was a few other ones that were super cheap, and I was like, damn it, if I only wasn't buying a new amplifier at this time. Yes. So yeah, the next time Scream Factory hits with one of those sales, I'm in, man. Because then if you hit like $50, you get like free shipping, so that's pretty good. Yeah, Monkey Shines. I haven't seen that in a couple years. It'd be good to do. Oh man, D Theater. Yeah, I almost got into D. I know a couple of guys that got D Theater, but I remember reading about it when it dropped in Widescreen Review, and like you had like Fight Club and True Lies and everything. I'm like, this is pretty cool, man. High definition VHS. But I know a couple of guys that have pretty copious D Theater collections. Let's see, Arctic on Amazon Prime. It's from 2019. Serial killer movies, some interesting comic book stuff. No, I haven't seen that. I'm gonna have to check that out, as I do have the Prime. So, yeah, I'm game. But Pumpkinhead 2, it's going out of print. Yeah, Dark F. Yeah, it's funny. I was just thinking about it. I haven't seen The Outsider yet. I was listening to a local radio station. They were covering it on a pop culture segment, and they were playing clips of it. And I was like, God damn, this sounds like identical to the freaking like plot of the Dark Half, because it was like a guy who was accused of killing people, and they had like hard evidence that he killed people but he also had a hard alibi of being at a conference somewhere else. I'm like, I've already seen this. It's called The Freaking Dark Half. So I'm hoping The Outsider has something more to bring other than being... Stephen King does tend to kind of reuse kind of themes and, you know, it's a character, he's a writer. Never done that before. So he does reuse kind of tropes and things like that, but I was surprised at how similar it was. So I'm hoping it gets way different. So we'll see. Enemy Territory is a cult classic. Goes under the Ray Parker Jr. fighting the vampire gang. Oh, damn. Yeah, I'd be down with that. Deep Theater. Let's see. Monkey Shines. Yeah, man, Monkey Shines is pretty cool. Enjoy that flick. Yeah. 5.1 mix on the specialized editions of 4K 77 is basically a definitive collection audio. It takes out the added effects. Nice. Angus, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, Blu-ray. I don't have it on LD either, but I have seen it before. I probably should have picked that up. But yeah, the 4K 77, everyone I know who loves it. Yeah, loves that. So it's funny because I belong to Star Wars Home, like a home video group. And those guys always get me because, you know, people talk about like the best version of Star Wars on home video, and like, you know, they're talking about officially released copies, and there's always a guy 4K 77, and they're like, yes, we know that's the ultimate Star Wars experience on home video at this moment, but we're talking about among the special release, yeah. But there's always a guy be like 4K 77, you know, like, yeah, we get it, we know about it, you gotta get it, you know, like we know, we already have it. Talking about among the, you know, it's a Star Wars home video group. Talking about among the officially released home videos. Oh, man. Good times. Yeah. So, yeah. It's kind of the benchmark right now. So, it's the kind of hilarity of, you know, everyone's waiting for the gout to hit on, you know, UHD. And then meanwhile, yeah, everyone just scans it and does it themselves. So. Good on them. But yeah, I still have my LaserDisc versions and still love them. Japanese special collections are great, and still have my definitive collection box, right? Boop. There, special edition box. Boop. I should get some of the Japanese boxes. I still have those. Yeah, Nathan Butler. Yeah, he's in the Star Wars Home Video group. I've watched his videos before. I feel bad for like correcting some of his LaserDisc stuff because sometimes he'll get some small details wrong on LaserDisc, and I never like to be that guy. You know, it's like, you can say that exactly correct. But no, I mean, the dude's collection is insane, like crazy insane. Yeah, I've watched some of his like cool stuff when he goes to the Star Wars cons and everything like that, and yeah, he's got a book out and everything, at least one book. I think he's working on a new book. The amount of stuff he's got is nuts. He's been posting a lot of like interesting weird bootlegs and stuff like that. It's just the dedication, because there's like constant new things coming out. He's gonna like every single version, variant, slipcover, steel book, or whatever. I'm like, damn, that's dedication, man. If it would be one thing if like the series ended, it was like, or if he just said, I'm only collecting like the original trilogy or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty impressive the amount of stuff he's got, and his series is huge, his YouTube series. But yeah, he's got quite a bit of LaserDisc content on there. Yeah, until somebody gets a 70mm print of Star Wars 8K 77, bound to happen. Yeah, there's always something, man. Yeah, and when there's will and Star Wars fandom, there's a way. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so once I can watch all three of them in 4K, it'll be pretty cool. It'll be a trip, man. Definitely, because the last time I saw, I'm trying to think of the last time I saw those films, was probably the special editions, 35mm, and of course they were the special editions. So it's been kick the Disney Plus version to the curb, bam. But yeah, it's been quite some time, because I'm missing out on all these cool California secret screenings of the 35mm and all that stuff. But yeah, I did hear about the 4K the Skywalker Saga set. Yeah, because I don't have the middle trilogy, or the prequel trilogy. I don't have those yet in any version. So I should probably get some more stuff, but I'm probably not going to get the the 4K Skywalker. Yeah, just because already have the newer stuff in 4K, so it's like but they don't have all of it. I don't have or maybe I do have it all in 4K. I don't have Rogue One in 4K. But yeah, that probably won't be part of that anyways, because the Skywalker saga gets that. But I don't know, we'll see. And then the original trilogy, I'll just hold out for the gout, or the 4K 77, 4K 80, 4K 83. Good. Yeah, I'm glad Spencer always talks about Star Wars. That's excellent. Yeah, I haven't seen him tonight. Hopefully he's doing well. Of course, I talked to him on a bunch of YouTube forums, and obviously LaserDiscs forever, being a Prime one. But yeah, I know we were just talking about something recently too, but probably James Bond related. So yeah, I'm hoping someday he'll get a copy of The World Is Not Enough. I'm glad that he was able to at least borrow Peter Biancardi's copy for a little bit to check it out. So if I ever get another copy, I'll hook him up. Don't tell him I said that, because it's going to hold me to it now. But yeah, if I ever get another copy of The World Is Not Enough, Spencer, I'll hook him up for sure, because he deserves it. He's been patient waiting for a copy. Good times. I'm definitely going to do some more James Bond stuff, because I never did a proper run through of my collection, and all the different series and stuff. And with No Time to Die coming out, I got to do that, and I got to do probably like a best of Bond series and best of songs series too. I'll probably rock that. So yeah, I do not collect CEDs. They're plentiful. Sometimes I've seen bins of them, at flea markets and stuff like that. But I don't have a player, and yeah, so LD's pretty much my sole, because of VHS's stuff I already had. But LD's LD's I already had anyways too. But LD's kind of my main vintage format. But yeah, I've avoided the CED. It's a bummer because speaking of James Bonds, there's some killer artwork on the James Bond CEDs that aren't on the LaserDiscs, and I have seen those at estate sales and things like that. I probably should have bought them just to buy them, but yeah, the prequels a few times. See, as I said before, the prequels I always watch in the demented form of the Oral Knots videos, where they took and did a bad lip reading kind of thing, and they redid the dialogue and clipped the hell out of them too. But it created this new saga of Jedi being smackheads and drug party fiends, and the Empire being a family friendly, kind of like Walmart, but with they do a lot of kind of Chuck E. Cheese type things and laser tag emporiums and things like that, and so they did the prequels, and they're amazing. And young Obi-Wan Kenobi is just such a douche, and yeah, he's always out to party and things like that. It's great. So I actually kind of love watching those through the Oral Knots version. So I kind of made me want to go back and watch the prequels again, on their own, just because it's been so long since I've seen that stuff. So I saw them all theatrically, but I only saw 3 once probably, and I saw it on DVD. But theatrically, I saw that once. Attack of the Clones, I think I saw twice theatrically, maybe. But yeah, and maybe once or twice on home video. But it's been a while. My Ability Valentine Shop Factory Blue. I don't have that yet. I need that. I'll wait for a good sale for sure. Yep. Yeah, the prequels. Yeah. But yeah, it'd be cool to have them on 4K, I guess. Yeah. Don't buy your music from Walmart. Don't they have the clean stuff? Yeah, that's. I'm trying to think of the last time I bought. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever bought any CDs there or anything that would be censored. But yeah. That would suck to be I got this hot new I did foolishly buy the clean version of the Outcast double album there with Hey Ya, and a speaker box and the below from Circuit City, and I bought the clean one by accident. I bought it back. I'm like, take this back. And they're like, why? I'm like, it's clean. They're like, well, why'd you buy it? I'm like, because I missed it somehow. I'm an idiot. I don't want this. Yeah. Favorite signature collection LD? It's got to be The Thing right now. Jaws is pretty awesome too. I don't have The Frighteners yet, and I don't have Last Starfighter yet, so I'm sure those could probably give a run, for top. But The Thing, definitely John Carpenter's The Thing. Yeah, that's a number one. Yeah, I didn't see Attack of the Clones IMAX, but I remember seeing it. That was like the first digital presentation I saw. So I remember that was like a big thing. I was like, ooh, digital. Is it going to be all washed out? Blacks are going to be all weak and gray and everything like that. And I remember it was a big deal, too, because it had the Matrix 2 trailer attached to it, digital. Yeah. And it was like, whoa. Yeah. So that was cool. It was like a cool event. And I went with like all my friends and family and everything like that. So, yeah, it was fun. Yeah, let's see. Oh, Spencer rolled in. We were just talking about you. Like we summoned you. Let there be Spencer. Yeah. Good times. Yeah, the Velvet Revolver. Yeah, my wife had that one too. There was like that period too when they were releasing all these. They weren't like traditional Red Book standard CDs. They were trying to like work in copy protection. Was it Beastie Boys? The Five Boroughs, I think, might have had it too, where it like would install like some sort of like spyware on your computer to stop you from being able to make copies of it. I seem to remember Velvet Revolver being one of those ones that like, I was Universal Music or whatever that they were putting out these things that were like, if you put it on a PC drive or whatever, you couldn't copy it or whatever, and like everyone's like, well, screw you, if you're gonna put out a CD, like, it better be like adhere to the freaking Red Book standard. AWADs. I remember I had some Roadrunner records that were like that too. And they're like, yeah, this might work, might not. Yeah, we got to put some copy protection on it. Yeah, I haven't heard that album in a long time. Yeah, Jaws Signature is mine. I've had both the Jaws because I had the first one. That I had was the thinner one, which is great. It's still got a cool documentary and everything like that. But then I stepped up to the one with the book and the soundtrack in it. It's like more signature. It's even more. So yeah, that was great stepping up to that. And technically, the ET one is a signature, even though it doesn't have any of the normal signature kind of fake steel, box set decor going on. It's like it's its own thing. But that's a pretty sweet set too. Back to the Future 4K. I'd be down for some Back to the Future 4K. I'm sure. After it would come out, everyone would complain about something being changed, the ratio wrong, or the color timing wrong, or something. I'm sure they'll screw it up in some fashion. But I'd be down. I'd be down to get that. I haven't heard the new Green Day. Totally doesn't sound like Green Day. Yeah, it's funny. There's a lot of that going around because there's the people complaining about the new Pearl Jam not sounding like Pearl Jam, but I didn't mind that track either that I heard from them. I'll have to check it out though. Let's see. Just remember, I was never talking about your thing comments behind your back. Oh, yeah. Spencer and Pete. Steve Tappan's band have been quite into. Yeah. I need to get more fill in the gaps. That's what I'm kind of looking for. I've been doing with the Clash lately. I've just been on a Clash mega kick, and I'm like, I need all their stuff. I need that sound box, CD box set. But that's the same thing. I need to kind of fill in the gaps with ZZ Top. Great band, and I've got like scattershot. There's stuff where I've got like some stuff on LP and some on tape or some on CD or something like that. So I'm kind of like all over the map on them. But yeah, great band. Billy Gibbons just showed up on the new. I keep pointing at where stuff is. Like everybody knows what's going on in my room. The new Desert Sessions release, which is only like 8 songs or so. Josh Homme's kind of project there, and then he had worked with him on Queens of Stone Age before, Lullabies to Paralyze. But I freaking love Billy Gibbons and just ZZ Top's kick-ass band. And one of those cool bands that were able to kind of evolve or devolve, however you want to look at it, and kind of keep themselves relevant in the '80s and embrace the the cheesier '80s sound, but still kick-ass. So good stuff. But yeah, I've been in the Clash corner hard lately. It's all that stupid book, man. I bought it from Borders Books and Music when it dropped, and it's like the Clash in their own words, like the big authorized big pink book. And I was just reading it. I'm like, damn, I need to listen to that. Damn, I need to listen to that. Damn, I need to listen to that. And that was around the same time I had just dragged up my copy of Sandinista on vinyl and spun that up. And I'm like, oh, snap. I need to like fill in all the gaps. I need to get everything on LP and CD. Stat. And I didn't have those like 99 remasters. You know, I had like the old Combat Rock copy on cassette when it first came out, and I used to listen to that on my Radio Shack, like realistic Porta Studio cassette player. You know, jamming on that, car jamming. And then I had the old like, you know, CD that had the dog bone sticker on it. So yeah, I didn't have the 99 reissues, and then I didn't have Super Black Market Clash, and I didn't have the singles collection. Cause freaking, I need This Is Radio Clash. Like, I needed like the alternate version and the one that I used to hear on MTV all the time. So good stuff. That song drove me crazy back in the day because it was just like a single. It didn't exist. So I had like Sandinista I stole from my dad, and it was like, I always figured when I saw the video, I'm like, well, this must be off their most recent album. So then I got their most recent album, stole it from my dad, and then I'm like, it's not on there. And then Combat Rock came out. It's not on there. I'm like, where's this freaking song? Good times, yeah. HD remastered London Calling music video. That's the next thing is I was going to start getting the DVDs because I don't have West Side of the World, and that there's a newer documentary about them. Then there's the Essential Clash documentary, and they're all pretty cheap on eBay. So I'm about to go down that rabbit hole too. And there's some good ones. Google Play had like a cool little 5-part documentary. And, you know, they're only about like 10 minutes a pop, but it's on YouTube. So I watched all those. There's some great live stuff. The Capitol Theater New York show with the soundboard recording and the multiple, it's like black and white, but multiple angles, and that's pretty badass. I was watching that recently. Yes, Spencer's got it with Sandinista. It's funny because I'm completely like in Joe Strummer's like camp now with Sandinista. Like at the time it was just like so much and too much and too different and too wild, and I loved Magnificent Seven, of course, and I remember like memorizing all of that, and Ivan Meets G.I. Joe when I was a kid, but it was like I could never soak it all in one go. And then yeah, over the years, like as you listen to it more and more, like it was getting all crazy, as you listen to it more and more, it's just like, yeah, this is freaking awesome. Like, and it just kind of starts kind of coalescing a little bit, and then all the people that would say, well, there's one good album in there, like if you pared it down and trying to find that ultimate track listing of the good album, and then you're like, yeah, but then it wouldn't be Sandinista, like it wouldn't be the same. And then I was watching that Google Play documentary, and Joe Strummer was saying the exact same thing. He's like, nah, I'm pretty proud of it. Like, it's great because they had already done like London Calling, like this perfect double album, and it's like then they had done pretty kick-ass single albums. Like, why not just have this one out there freaking expression of, you know, everything? Yeah, some punk rock, dub, everything going on under the sun. It's great, man. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Oh, UK originals, even nice. Spencer's bringing the original UKs. Yeah, I got the you know, of course, American pressed when they finally reissued the original self-titled, but the UK version over here. I finally got that on CD, and of course I've got the US copy on vinyl. So I do need the UK original vinyl of that, and so much fun. Blair sending Easter tracks going into work. Yeah, Melton Pie makes it what it is. I know, right? Like I kind of don't. Yeah. I don't want it to be anything other than what it is now. Do you have the Big Four on Blu-ray? I do, but I'm a freaking idiot. I didn't buy the big box set that came with all the CDs. Because like I kind of prided myself in being like Slayer complete at the time, and that was the one thing that eluded me. I didn't have the CDs that came with that Big Four super set, and now it goes for tons of money. And I didn't buy it because I'm an idiot. I just bought the Blu-ray itself. I went to go see it in the theaters too, and it was a little bit shorter in theaters, but it was fun. It was a great time. Yeah, going to see that and checking it out digitally. But yeah, I bought the Blu-ray for sure. Yeah, what else is going on? What did I miss? Legs from ZZ Top. It's one of the cheesiest 80s music. Yeah, right. Favorite ZZ Top album? Yeah, I don't know. Stuff. Yeah, Eliminator is kind of my, like I got into the older stuff after, from my dad's collection. But, Eliminator was like prime, kind of my age, my turf, that territory. It was made an impact on me outside of like being like the cool stuff my dad. Because I eventually like found out like, what's my dad listening to? He's listening to the Ramones and Robin Trower and stuff like that. And I was like, ooh, this is cool. And Rush, even though Rush kind of made an impact on me too from the '80s. But yeah, like Eliminator was like kind of, it was also hitting my generation apart from, the past tunes. And then like later I was like, oh, they do all those other cool songs that I like already. So like, oh, I like Cheap Sunglasses. I like this, So, U.S. original vinyl of Rope, LC Combat Rock, very close to UK and very good. Yeah, I've got Combat Rock, the original, U.S. as well. Yeah, I know, and I haven't heard the remasters from the sound, the box, but I'm still gonna get it anyways, just because I want to get all the extra stuff. But so I don't know if that's better than the '99 remasters, but yeah, I do have some of the old ones. But yeah, the train's left the station. The train in vain. I gotta keep going with this Clash thing. So, I mean, they were just such a part of my childhood. Like I was just thinking about reading that book. I forgot what show it was at, but there's like this, color picture of, it was probably a UK show they were playing, and there was, when like Paul Simonon was bringing in all these like World War II footage, films that they were projecting on the back wall, and there's like that going on with them. There's like a kind of saturated color, and they're just kicking ass. That was hanging in my dining room because my dad was such a wackadoo. My house was like decorated with so much stuff like that because my mom was friends with this place that got put out of business by Strawberries called Marty's Music Mart, and he would give her like all the like Rolling Stone standees and posters and stuff like that. And then my dad rolled in with his own stuff. So yeah, we had the Clash live with like bombers and stuff projected behind them in my my dining room for like the longest time. So I was like primed and ready. Steve, I haven't heard the Hoffman remaster of Tres Hombres, so I'll have to check that out. I do love checking out the Steve Hoffman forums. Those guys are always entertaining, and yeah, no one can agree sometimes on stuff, but it's a cool place to hang out. And I never get involved, but it's a good place to lurk for sure. Yeah, and I don't have a lot of the old ZZ Top vinyl, so it'd be cool to get some of that stuff. And yeah, specialty labels are pricey. Yeah, but original pressings of stuff is you can get some great stuff that I was just listening to some Police, Ghost in the Machine. That pressing sounds sick. I was like, damn, this sounds good. And I got it for like next to nothing, from a department store back in the day. SHUTV's Home Away from Home and Wallet Killer. Yeah, I don't need any more wallet killers. Got too many wallet killers. Yep. There's always something cool on there you find out you want. I just love when you find you get a pressing of something and you're like, oh, and then after the fact you look it up and then you're like, yeah, no, that's the one that sucks. Favorite cheesy 80s songs. Yeah, that's tough because, some of the cheesy stuff other people would consider cheesy, like I embrace so near and dear, like Flock of Seagulls, that, that's moved beyond cheesy in my spheres. And, some cheesier Adamant stuff. What else? Damn, I know there's like something ridiculously obvious that's like just outside of my spheres of comprehension right now. Because there is some like stuff where I'm like, all right, I know that I actively know this is cheesy, but I still love it. Yeah, trying to think. Damn. No, I was listening to something recently too. I got some more Fix albums too, not cheesy 80s stuff, but on vinyl there was some stuff. I got some Ice House on vinyl. I really gotta do like a vinyl update cover because it's been far too long and like way out of date. I'm looking for the last Missing Persons. What the hell is color in my world, color in my space, color in my butt? I forgot what it is. I don't have that. I need that. Sorry, we're talking about cheesy stuff. That's not cheesy. That's cool. But that's on my wish list. But yeah, I was in a big Thomas Dolby phase recently, and What else did I pick up? Yeah, I picked up Ice House. I picked up yeah, Party All the Time. That's good. Let's see. Yeah, too many to name. Yeah, Party All the Time. Heartbeat. Heartbeat. Yeah, that's good stuff. I mean, some of John Anderson's stuff. It's pretty like Loved by the Sun from the Legend soundtrack. That's pretty cheesy, but I still love it. Like I cranked up in the car and I'm singing along. I'm like, yeah, this is not cool. Like if anybody pulled up next to me, I'm like, what are you blasting? Like Metallica, what are you blasting? Loved by the Sun. Lots of parallels with the Police and Clash. Yeah, recently on Amazon Prime I watched that Andy Summers documentary, mostly kind of talking about when they got back together. But it was cool, like like I never thought about, like when the Police came out, I never thought about how older Andy Summers was, because he looked like tiny and young. So I always just assumed those guys were the same age, and it was just fun, kind of seeing how they all strangely came together, and just that whole scene, and like what was Stuart Copeland doing like in England, and like there's just, it seems interesting that those spheres all kind of came together. And same thing with the Clash, like it's just so cool. And then reading that Clash book was crazy. Like I wasn't even thinking about like the connections with Chrissie Hynde, and like how she was involved with so much of what was going on then, and how interwoven Bernie, the Clash's manager, was with Malcolm McLaren, and how tight they were with the Sex Pistols, even though there was a little bit of kind of, there was camaraderie and some competition going on there. But so much interesting stuff going on there. And then some of the other people involved in the Clash was Ellen Foley, who did the Meatloaf stuff, and then was later in Night Court. Like I was like, damn, like there's all these little things that I just kind of didn't pay attention to or didn't know about when I was a kid. But it's good that Joe and Mick buried the hatchet. When you unsnap the plastic and cardboard, you can tell when the DVD was made. I need more snapper cases, man. Give me some more snapper cases I need to fix. But Police. I need to get some older Police vinyl, because I don't have the first couple, like original pressings. I need to get that. Saying that it sucks collecting vinyl now. There's the stuff that is, me and Spencer have kind of commiserated on this before. There's the stuff that isn't actually rare, and it was pretty like popular, and there's tons of copies out there. So, but it's super expensive because of how cool the band is now. How high profile the band is. But you're like, well, it can't be rare because everybody and their mother had it. But then you could say, well, they were popular, so all those copies are beat and used and trashed. But still, I'm like, I don't want to spend this much money on this. I'm like, damn it. So that's why I'm psyched when there's a band that's like actually pretty cool from the 80s, or I can buy a Fix album for like $3, or a Missing Persons album for $3. I'm like, cool. Nobody knows they're good yet. Or Thomas Dolby. Like sooner or later, this stuff's gonna be like, Police UK originals for the first 3 years. Oh man, damn! Don't tell me that. I don't need to get more UK. I did get some UK stuff recently. I got a Tigers at Pantang disc, and I think it was like a Queensryche one or something. But I'll have to hunt some. The only thing about the UK stuff is like the jackets. I never liked the jackets because they're so like, seem like they're so feeble. But then the pressings kick ass, so it's worth it in the long run. It's so cool how they all knew each other. John Lane's last memoir was really good. I'll have to check that out. I saw him on either it was Jonesy's podcast or radio show Steve Jones is in, or something else, but the two of them were together. It was pretty cool just seeing them. The other thing that blew me away was like hearing all these guys, all these punk icons, talking about Gene Pitney, because like my hometown is like, that's where Gene Pitney came from. Like, so it's so crazy hearing Joe Strummer talking about like he wanted to, be a musician, hearing Gene Pitney on like I forgot what Rolling Stones track. Like he's like, oh no, there's Gene Pitney giving the swing. I'm like, that dude's from my hometown. Like, and then hearing like Leiden on Jonesy's podcast. He's like, "Oh, you got some Gene Pitney? Play that." I'm like, "Dude, man, it's so weird. Like, how far flung like these connections and how incestuous everything is." So, I get some more Public Image stuff. I used to have, I think, first couple Public Image on vinyl that I got from my dad's friend, but they were just so beat and crackly. Man, every time I get a copy of Peter Gabriel's, well, of course, Peter Gabriel's Peter Gabriel, but not Scratch, probably Melt. It's Crackle City. It's a popular album. I even got one recently. It had the shrink wrap and the hype sticker on it. I'm like, dude, this is gonna be in good shape. And I popped it on. It's Crackle City. I'm like, God damn it! Still yet to get a clean copy of that beast. So yeah, I saw the German version at my local shop too. I might pick that up. It's always one of those DVDs where the artwork is always gone. It's funny how some things always come up that way. And you're like, I used to see, there's a Matthew Sweet CD I would always see, and it would always have the missing booklet. And I'm like, are they all together somewhere with the left socks? Go to Hipster Record Shop and get 70s and 80s gems for you. Yeah, that's the cool thing in like the 80s stuff, man. Like, or even 70s stuff that's, quote unquote not cool. Like my dad's like Robin Trower collection. I can fill in the gaps on those Trower records, for next to nothing because nobody cares about those. I haven't done any hunting videos just because, I'm just so in the zone. Like it's tough for me to kind of break free and like think about filming. Like, maybe if I had a GoPro or something, or like camera glasses. I wish I had camera glasses like in VHS 2. That would make it a lot easier on me. Or if there was a dude following me around. But yeah, like I got to give it to all those hunters, that can focus on actually keeping something in the frame and focus on shopping. Because I tend to, I really want to get in the zone when I'm out, flipping through records and things like that. And so and then if I am filming, it's an afterthought. And then later I look at the footage and I'm like, this is barely watchable. Pete's got an original Aussie LP of Led Zeppelin 4. I need to get some Aussie stuff. I need to get some old AC/DC pressings. And keep an 80s Men at Work. I need the original Business as Usual with a weight cover. I need that. I mean, I don't need it, but I need it. What else we got? What else did I miss out on? It reminds me we need PIL and Solar Clash releases. Yeah, so you should do that. We need to go shopping, man. Let's do this. But I do love watching hunting videos too, and pickups, and I do watch a lot of other vinyl collectors and things like that. I haven't kind of tapped into the whole kind of vinyl collector YouTuber community or anything. There's a whole kind of thing going on there. I should do more vinyl videos. I don't know why I don't, but get the original Mercury US label Melt. Yeah, I know. I don't know why I keep getting crappy beat up copies. I don't have too many records. I'm trying, hundreds. I thinned the herd foolishly at one point, and kind of laid low for a little bit from collecting. But I've got some up here in like a kind of Kallax style cube, and then I've got a 4x4 cube downstairs. One cube's all soundtracks. 2 cubes are like kind of pop and some's kind of club stuff, and then one's just box sets. So I can eventually take those out, and then I've got a kind of custom credenza thing with 3, but they're huge. They're way bigger than like Kallax. 3 kind of sections of those are all loaded with metal and pop and stuff, and then my wife's collection too. So it's hundreds. So it's reasonable. Space being an issue helps kind of keep me at bay. But I mean, again, the I've got 2 local, super local within my town shops. One is pretty much dead stock. We'll get some new stuff in, and tends to be a little pricey. And then the other guy is great. I try and support him as much as I can. And there are record shows too, which I haven't been going to lately. I heard him complaining too. There's so many dealers there that nobody can make money because everybody that goes there just buys one thing from each dealer, and then each dealer goes home having sold a little bit, but it's just so many options. But yeah, his stock is great and is always revolving, and is like when you go later to Discogs, you see like how reasonably priced he is, and eventually you'll get like a bum disc or something like that, and he even puts like nice thick sleeves on everything that's like of value, and then everything that's like $3 under he just puts in the bins alone. But even the stuff that I'm getting out of the $3, and then if you buy 4 or more $3 discs, then they're like $2.50 a pop. So I see when I'm buying those things, I get them home and they're in better condition than like the chains like Newbury Comics. They just want like $16 for everything, and the jackets are beat to crap. And so I'm finding these, $2.50, $3 copies I'm getting are way better condition than some of the other stores. So I'm definitely spoiled for selection, and that's just in my town. And then if I want to kind of drive out and about a little bit, there's all sorts of options nearby. So that's pretty cool. Vinyl. I've seen vinylized before. Recordology, I'm not sure, but I might have. But I definitely have seen vinylized stuff before. Apollo 13, I need in Signature Collection and DTS. So I don't know if the DTS kicks it S. It probably does, but I haven't heard them back to back yet. I don't have. I just have the original Dolby Surround version when it first dropped. So I need to get the Signature. So that's on the list for sure. Ozzy new album. I've heard 3 tracks, and I was actually surprised how because I heard he's like doing stuff with Post Malone and Elton John. Nothing against Elton John, but and he's got like Slash and Duff McKagan, I think, doing instrumentation for him. I heard 3 tracks, and they were pretty good, so they weren't too bad. Another makes me more jealous than Spencer having the Beatles mono box set. Yeah, I have seen a copy of that locally, and it's affordable, compared to what it goes for. But I still haven't bought it because, it's affordable. Maybe someday. Yeah, more common. Geffen releases early. Peter Gabriel albums aren't as good. Yeah. I think I'm somewhere near 1,000 LPs. I haven't noticed. Yeah, it's the struggle is real for sure. Between LDs and LPs, if I had the room, yeah, it could just keep expanding. And I try to do the same thing with LPs I do with LDs. Like I have like my my rules that I always end up breaking. I'm looking for this, or I'm looking for 80s, or I'm looking for I just end up like finding something. I'm like, ooh, I need this. Yeah, you should definitely go to the record show. I just missed apparently a huge one like about a week ago. So there's a couple near me that are on a regular basis. So they used to get shut down because they used to sell bootlegs back in the day. But now that the internet killed the bootleggers, thankfully they can get back to selling records again. So yeah, they don't get shut down, I don't think, anymore. So it's it used to suck back in the day. You drive to some place and get in, and like 2 minutes later the FBI would be there. They shut it down. Yep. But yeah, that's the thing. I like to support my local guy too because I want to help him out, and I've sold some stuff back to him, and the fact that there's a badass record store in my town, like I don't want it to be one of those things where like, I guess I should have gone there more often when he goes out of business. It's fun. Like working from home, like he's right down the street, so like I can like go Dunkin' Donuts and get some coffee on my break, and like get some egg and cheese wake up wraps, and then go get some like cheap ass vinyl, and then go home and then play it that afternoon and be like, oh, this is cool. Let's crank up some Tears for Fears. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Yeah, it's cool. I love working and listening to the records, and then it forces me to get up and flip sides every 22 minutes or so. It's cool. Gets the blood flowing. Yeah, I'm trying to think of CDs. I've got you could see, that's a big unit that goes down to the floor, and then that unit on top of it goes up to the ceiling. And then there's another similar unit on this wall with all soundtrack CDs that way that you can't see. So, egg and cheese wake up wraps. Jared knows the score. Sometimes I do those 2 for $5 bacon, egg, and cheese croissants sandwiches, but those $2 egg and cheese wake up wraps, bam, bam, shove them in my mouth. Give me some iced dunks. You and your son live off of nice. Some of the small town record shops are great. Knoxville's got some good stuff. Nice. Yeah, that's not, traveling. I always like to go to record stores. I bought some cool stuff and like a small record store in Bar Harbor, Maine, and the places like that. You're like, I got to seek out a record store. My state's got a pretty decent amount of them, so that is nice. So if I want to go on a small kind of road trip, we'll go check it out. I haven't done kind of like lots of things on Marketplace or Craigslist like I do with LaserDisc, just because if I was tapped into the vinyl community a little bit more, I might do that, just because it's like, if I'm stuck with the stuff, I'm stuck with it, so I'd probably have to donate it, or because like LD is a little bit easier. It's not because I'm so like kind of nestled into the community. Like I know I can probably sell it to somebody if it's something I don't want. So like LP is like, I don't really have that luxury of having people that want to buy them off me. So I haven't really gone into the lots yet. So I'm still just kind of. It's probably better for space, anyways. I'm just kind of cherry picking stuff. Record players had just a downstairs music hall MMF 1.5 and Technics 1200s and an old Admiral console from 1962. Obviously, that's not like my prime go-to player, but I've been actually thinking about getting something new for this room over there. But yeah, I'm not sure what yet. There's been some interesting, and player, prices for the older ones have skyrocketed. Locally for Craigslist and Marketplace and all that stuff. There was like a period 5 to 10 years ago when you could get them, under $50. But now everything's, everybody wants tons for their mediocre, 80s players, which are, fine and good players, but yeah, SL 1200 Mark IIs, baby. Those are beasts, unstoppable. You true size, you can play both sides. I do have the Admiral's got one. It can't play both sides, but it's got the stacker if I wanted to stack them. I remember having those back in the day. We had an 8-track combo console that had the 8-track unit and the stackable LPs on the turntable, and you could put like 4 or 5 of them on there. But of course, obviously, you'd have to, if you had multiple copies, you could maybe stagger them, so you could go side 1, side 2, side 3, side 4, or something. But yeah, so I've got one of those suckers. But travel and look for books. Not attractions. Same thing, man. I'm like, what's here? And in fact, I had to meet that guy in Vermont to sell him LaserDiscs. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go through Brattleboro. There's a shop in there. Might as well stop by there. That's kind of where it's at, man. Any kind of cool stores, anything, thrift shops, things that might have videos, records. JB Hi-Fi. Do you have the LP player? SLT. Looking at techniques, find a good spot to put it. That's definitely. I love the Vulcan racks that they put out. You can get them through Amazon too, but I forgot whatever audio catalog magazine I get. They sell them on there too. But is it Pangea? The same guys that do Pangea audio, I think, do them. But they're really kind of nice modular racks, and they're pretty simple, streamlined. You can get them with colors too, but I think I've got one that are just like kind of carbon black. And simple, kind of poles that you can just unscrew and kind of add stacked shelves to them. They're great. They got a kind of nice, narrow footprint, and you can just stick them in the corner. I've got one in the corner you can't see over there, but they're cool. And then you could, throw a turntable on top and preamp underneath it, and then they now have ones that have LP-sized kind of cubes, so you could put a bunch of LPs in there. So I definitely recommend those things. They're ridiculously cheap for what you get. But they sell them on Amazon. But I love those suckers. But it's good space thing. And I do downstairs. I have one of those 4x4, fake Kallax cubes, and it's nice to just have the kind of table offset and try and keep it clean. Just have the table and a little space for all my doodads and knickknacks, and so I can put my brushes and stuff up there. And it's cool. That seems to be doing me pretty good. Power record LPs from the 70s, superheroes and Star Trek awesomeness. Nice. To choose tracks. Yeah, so yeah, I don't have, and I used to have some automatic and semi-automatic ones too that would do everything, for you at the end of the track too, or at the end of the side. It would, lift up and go back and all that stuff. So yeah, everything I have now is very, very manual. So just drop. Well, it's got the, at least my music hall, it's got the lift, so you can lift it. But I'm still doing DJ stuff and radio stuff. I'm used to the old drops, so I don't mind going manual. Yeah, I'm still streaming. I should probably shut it down because we've been going for a while. But I mean, yeah, I guess it's been a while since I've streamed, so yeah, what the hell? Let's go for it. I'm probably gonna go and watch some more music-related DVDs and stuff like that, and chill out for a little bit. Get some water too, so my voice will go back to normal. I have thought about getting anamorphic lens. I would love the concept of the fixed height. I love the idea of having a 2.35 to 1 screen, and then having it narrower for 1.85 to 1, and then narrower for 1.33 to 1. I love that concept. And when the Panamorphs first came out, I did think about that when I first got my first projector. And then now it's like a little bit easier. Some of the projectors, like the JVCs and stuff, like have functionality to work well with those. It seemed a little funky at first, like implementing it. So I just and they were a little pricey, so I stood away from them. But yeah, I've always been interested in that for sure. I think if I move somewhere else and I have a even bigger room, and I have the capability to do a big 2.35 to 1 screen, I'd definitely be into going down that alley. I love the concept, at least. Yeah. Thanks for torturing me, guys. I know. I like I said, now that I know, it's been a while since I streamed, and part of it was just stuff going on outside of personal crap and all that, and these guys outside revving their cars. But yeah, this whole area I built here is all set up differently, and this whole room's been rearranged and tweaked and stuff. So I wanted to get to a point where I had the software installed in this PC and everything set up, and the guy's back. He's been gone for a while, but he's back. So yeah, it took a while to get going. So tonight was kind of the test to see if I can get it back up and running. So now theoretically I can start up some sort of regular basis again. So we'll start streaming again. Yay! I never did have a 3-gun CRT. That was originally what I was thinking about getting. Back in the day, I was intrigued by. I remember Wired magazine doing like a review of like a digital projector in the 90s, early mid 90s, and then I did have some digital projector experiences at a friend's house. We would rent one, and we showed. I don't think I brought my LaserDisc player. I think I dubbed the special edition of T2 on a VHS tape, and we watched that on a digital projector outside. So I remember being into digital too, but still, back in the day, the goal was to get like a badass 3-gun CRT and like a line doubler and go nuts. Get some sort of a big super beast, and so that just never happened. But I know like Kurt Palm was like Mr. Captain Projector, and I'd like kind of follow the stuff he would talk about, and so it was in the works. And I remember my dad worked for Pratt and Whitney, and Pratt and Whitney would ditch a lot of their old installation gear and computers and things like that. And I remember hearing tales about like 3-gun CRTs just kind of sitting in a corner at their like the shop corner where they dump stuff, and you could go pick it up for cheap. And I did think about going back to pick that up after he told me about it, but I never did. So I never did want to go down upside down right above them and just kind of try to converge all 6 guns. Yeah, and then of course I've seen them in action too, but not in my own personal setup. But yeah, I am psyched for the concept of going anamorphic and going wide, because I love the fixed height, because of course it's like cinemas, or good cinemas. I know there's too many cinemas that do things. It was weird seeing Hansel and Gretel, because much like a lot of the kind of newer post-horror stuff, they're keen on, like, it comes at night playing with the aspect ratio, because it started off like 2.35 to 1, and it was like I was watching it like on an old TV, like it was like all the space on the side of the screen, and then there was the image, and then it was like window boxed. I'm like, what's this? And then it kind of stretched out, so I'm like, oh, I get it. But yeah, proper cinema where they have a widescreen and they actually close the curtains when it's 1.85 to 1. Yeah, I was streaming still. I know I seem to be having a good night now, but use OBS. Yeah, I use OBS too. But yes, so I wish nothing but quality stream activity on everybody, because yeah, it's a pain in the ass when everything starts bogging down on you. But it seems to be working pretty good for me tonight. Yeah, knock on wood. I think I saw the Spiral of Doom once or twice, but and this is excellent, and I got green going on down there. But I'm excited to kind of mess around with OBS a little bit more and do kind of like other scenes and things like that, and not get too crazy, but card placeholders, things like that, and mix it up a little bit. So DVD of Attack of the Clones on a rental data projector for the win. Nice. Yeah, I know a guy who did the 35mm in his basement too, down the road from me. He also did digital later too, but he used to buy bootleg 35mm prints from a dude under a bridge in Brooklyn back in the day. And so yeah, he actually built himself a booth and everything. It was pretty sick. It was pretty cool down in his basement. Yeah, it was nuts. But yeah, it's a lot of work. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. You still get a movie stub every time you go to the show? Yeah, I do, and I try to keep them. It was kind of sucky, like, for the longest period when I first started getting, like, screenings for, doing the radio and TV stuff, because then eventually I stopped getting stubs at all, or if I did, it would just be like, it'd say rental, and it'd say $0 on it, so it kind of took the fun out of it, like, first world problems. I got free movies. I got to see them early, but my ticket stub stinks. So it's kind of too bad, because now looking back, like, I'm like, I don't even know what movie that was I saw that day, because you can't even go by the date, because sometimes it'd be like 2 weeks before the movie, sometimes it'd be 1 day before the movie released. So I got a big pile of these like things that are just like, say, rental. But yeah, now that I'm not going to as many of those, I still do keep my stubs, but I gotta start kind of putting them together a little bit better, like my older stubs, because I keep those pretty well synchronized. I gotta put them more on Instagram. I used to do a Ticket Thursday where I do an old ticket and try and get a ticket for the same date but a different year. I got to get back into that. And I thought I saw Punk Nerd 2 on me on Instagram, so yes, I will check that out once I'm back on the phone. Give you a shout out. But yeah, so I'm still keeping the stubs. Yeah, it's funny when you get prints for cheap. Yeah, that's like a whole kind of other thing. And the 16mm collectors too. I know Peter Brincardi was really getting into film for like a hot minute. I don't think he went as far as 35, but start collecting, you run your print of Pluto Nash 900 times. First rated R movie that I saw in the theater. It's funny because I was saying the first one my mom allowed me to see in the theaters was The Blues Brothers, which I had already seen like once or twice before then, and I had already seen Animal House by then. Trying to think. I know I saw. Was it China Syndrome? I think that was rated R. I could be wrong, but I know I saw that theatrically. I think it was probably some other stuff that my dad, took me to. That I wasn't allowed to see, but he was gonna go see it anyways. But yeah, I'd do the data mining on that and try to figure out what the exact first one I saw theatrically was. But the first official one was The Blues Brothers, but it definitely wasn't the first R-rated film. Let's see. Pete's looking for an Optoma UHD 50. Nice. Yeah, I'd love to go 4K at some point. Probably JVC, unless Sony starts dropping. And then these, you know, laser projectors they're coming out with are pretty badass. I love the idea of not having to change a bulb every couple years. That would be sweet. The short throw projectors are coming out with, they're pretty badass too. But yeah, now they're starting to get the native 4K ones that are getting a little bit more, you know, affordable. So I definitely would like to go down that. Of course, you know, HDR is never going to be quite the same on a projector, but it's cool though. I mean, yeah, I just love projecting because it's so damn close to the cinema. So yeah. So that's the goal at some point. All right. Well, I guess it's almost noon night. I should probably ramp it up and go get some water. Take care of my voice. I'll have to get like a water cooler like right here for these things, so I could just keep going and just refill this bad boy. Get my Metallica glass. Go get some water. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. It was cool. I didn't know, you know, who was going to be on tonight, and I know yeah, it was kind of short notice. I didn't even think that I was gonna have all this stuff installed on here and ready to go tonight, but then around 5 o'clock I did a test. I'm like, oh damn, I guess we could do it tonight. So I didn't really give too much of a notice, but yeah, peace. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, all right. Spencer's got the water pitcher going for the gusto. I like it. Yeah, got to keep hydrated. Yeah, bring back the discotheque. If not that proper, I've been working on bringing back a couple of different ideas. So, yeah, definitely want to get some podcasting going back up. And now that I have this kind of area, I can put a proper boom arm on here and do some cool stuff. So there's some stuff in the works. I've got some names of podcasts and things like that all ready to go. So I just have to actually make it happen. And I'd like to get it. We were gonna do you know, a version without Moikey with a different guy, but that didn't happen, of LaserDiscs. But I'd love to at least get like a special every once in a while and get Sean and Moikey together and do a proper one. So yeah, check you later, Kyle, Jared, Eric, Pete, Spencer, the crew. I don't know if Sean's still on here. Punk Nerd. Everybody have a kick-ass evening, kick-ass weekend, and yeah, I'll try to promote the next stream like a little bit earlier. Yeah, give it a day or two in advance and kind of do it that way. But thanks for hanging out. Yeah, thanks for finding me tonight, and hopefully you guys have a whoop-ass weekend. Peace.